know your options. Don't try to photocopy when you out here being saucy. It's getting too
Good
spicy.
morning, ladies and gentlemen.
Don't be wrapped up in your feelings and be careful when you flash it. But when you play the game, man, you better know your options. Don't try to photocopy when you out here being saucy. It's getting too spicy, I ain't even had my coffee. I'm a early in the morning, time to get it in. Time to show a
Greetings, ladies and gentlemen.
Say the fools rush in, but I'm coming with a passion. I'm trying to get to know you while you thinking that I'm asking. I like to get it popping
Because the sound is supersonic.
Came so far, and it's early in the morning.
Wow, where's my stuff at?
Some water on my face, yeah, it's just another day.
In the Golden State.
Ain't no tossing and turning.
Wow.
Time for insomnia. I know the best way to make
Well, it says my network is unstable. Right, there we go.
Or I can sit back and just watch the news.
Hey! Good morning, everyone.
I was born to be a winner, you can never stop me. Don't try to photocopy, you can never top me. I was born to be a winner, you can never stop me. Don't be wrapped up in your feelings and be careful when you flashing. And when you play the game, man, you better know your options.
Don't try to photocopy when you out here being saucy.
It's getting too spicy, I ain't even had my coffee.
Good
Don't
morning.
be wrapped up in your feelings and be careful when you flashing. And when you play
Gotta
the game,
warm the
man,
app
you better
up.
know your options. Don't try to photocopy when you out here being saucy. It's getting too spicy, I ain't even had my coffee. I just put my watch on, you know what time it is.
Hey!
Business, let's get it in. I'm so focused on my mission. There's no competition, there's no excuses for opposition. One thing's for certain, I'm motivated to be in the kitchen. I gotta listen if I wanna make a difference.
Hey.
What I'm doing can't be
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
Now I'm making a living, so why the hell are they tripping? Is it because I'm the one that they see in their visions? I got a million different ways I can hit with precision. I know I'm gifted cause the way that I speak causes change. And even though it's hard, I stayed in my lane. Don't try to photocopy, you can never top me. I was born to be a winner, you can never stop me. Don't try to photocopy, you can never top me. I was born to be a winner, you can never stop me. Don't be wrapped up in your feelings and be careful when you flashing. And when you play the game, man, you better know your options. Don't try to photocopy when you out here being saucy. It's getting too spicy, I ain't even had my coffee. Don't be wrapped up in your feelings and be careful when you flashing. And when you play the game, man, you better know your options. Don't try to photocopy when you out here being saucy. It's getting too spicy, I ain't even had my coffee. Break it down.
Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. How are we doing? Happy Monday.
Yeah, break it down now. Yeah.
Woo!
Yeah, don't be a photocopy, be yourself. Yeah, be a photocopy, be yourself. Yeah, it's me. Gentlemen,
Don't be a photocopy, be yourself. Don't be a photocopy, be yourself. Come on, ladies and gentlemen. You know what time it
I
is.
ain't had my coffee, ladies and gentlemen.
Let's go.
Don't be a photocopy, be yourself. Don't be a photocopy, be yourself. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, once again it's me, Mr. Crossan, aka Zeus. Yes, and as you can tell, lightning does strike twice. Alright, we done with this. We're done.
All right. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the show. Welcome back. We are once again in the Thunderdome. We've survived another weekend, and I am back. All right. I am your host. I am your pilot, and you know exactly why we are here. All right. Hold on, ladies and gentlemen. You know exactly why we are here. But before we get started, for those of you who do not know who I am, I go by the name Zeus, or as some like to say, Triple H. And why do they call me Triple H, ladies and gentlemen? Well, it's quite simple. The first H is because I'm honest. I'm the most honest person on social media. There's nobody more honest than me. The second H is because I'm humble. There's nobody more humble than me. Listen, if I get it wrong, I will be the first to apologize. But here's the thing. I just haven't been wrong lately, all right? But if I were, I really would apologize. And then the last and the final H, ladies and gentlemen, is because you guessed it. I am and will always remain the most handsome. Many of you are familiar with what we do over here on this side of TikTok, on this side of town. What we do is very special. We hold our friends on the right, especially their cult leader, Donald J. Trump. Good morning, Rick. All right, I got your name right today, right? We hold our friends on the right, especially their cult leader, Donald J. Trump, accountable for their dirty, disgusting, filthy deeds, as well as their crimes. And believe you me, when it comes to dirty, disgusting, filthy deeds and crimes, isn't it safe to say the Republican Party, really in particular the MAGA Republican Party, they seem to have hit the jackpot? And what we're going to do is make sure this November, when Americans go out and cast their vote, they don't go out and don't have an excuse. All right, we're taking away their excuse for voting for arguably one of the most corrupt, deranged politicians to ever be president in our United States. I'm talking about Donald Trump. There's really no excuse for anybody to say they're voting for Donald Trump. If you do it, as far as I'm concerned, you're just evil. You're just wicked. You're not paying attention. You've been lying to yourself. You're in a cult. Other than that, there's really no excuse for voting for this guy, right, ladies and gentlemen? So listen up. If you are a Trump supporter, all right, or you're one of these people that are going to vote for Donald Trump this November, you know exactly how this goes. You might want to leave this live and go on about your miserable morning. Go hang out with those fake TikTok hosts, those fake Twitters, what do they call it? X Twitter. You go hang out with those folks on X, all right? Because guess what's going to happen over here? I'm going to ruin your day. Why, Zeus? Why are you ruining their day? Because you guys don't know anything. You don't know anything. So I got to give you the truth, all right? The way that the rest of us see it, because we're not in the cult, all right? So if you don't want Zeus to ruin your breakfast this morning, right? A lot of these Trump supporters, they went to the drive-thru this morning. Some of them probably went to Jack in the Box. What do you want in the Jack in the Box? Thank you for coming to the Jack in the Box. You can see them driving in there. They probably got their, they just got paid. I don't know how they got paid, but let's just say they got $5 or $10 on them. Yes, I would like a breakfast Jack. I think that's what they sell. I want a breakfast Jack with a coffee, an orange juice, 2 hash browns. Why do you need 2 hash? I just wanted hash browns. Okay. All right, and then you pull up to the window. That'll be, whatever it costs, $10, right? I don't know what it costs. Oh, okay, I'll give you my last $10 because I'm so hungry this morning. All right, they'll get that food, and then they'll be listening to this live that I'm doing, and you know what'll happen? I can see him right now. He drives off, and then he hears what I'm saying, and then all of a sudden, guess what? He's not so hungry. He's not so hungry because the truth that I'm telling you, Trump supporters. Oh, wait a second. Scooter, what do you call yourself? Get in the box real quick. All right. My moderators have the right to place comments from MAGA demons. My moderators have the right to pin them up. And if they pin it up and I decide to bring you up and you don't come up, guess what? I'm going to ask the moderators to put you in a straitjacket, all right? Because I don't want you in my comments distracting people who want to learn. I'm talking to you, Mr. 421. I sent you an invite, all right? Get in the box or forever be silenced, all right? Moderators, this knucklehead didn't want to. I invited Scotter up. Scotter said no. Moderators, do what you want with them. I won't even look, all right? But by the way, Scotter, this one's for you. Goodbye, Scotter. I don't care.
Silence!
Goodbye, Scott. You call Scott. All right. Fair enough. All right. So listen up. If you don't want Zeus to ruin your breakfast this morning, like I said, leave this live because it's going to get very, very uncomfortable. But get this. You don't got to take my word for it. Listen to your leader.
If you're not happy here, then you can leave. As far as I'm concerned, if you hate our country, if you're not happy here, you can leave. If you're not happy in the U.S., if you're complaining all the time, very simply, you can leave. You can leave right now. Come back if you want. Don't come back. It's okay too. But if you're not happy, you can leave.
All right. Let's get started with today's topics. All right. Now, before I get deeper into what's going on, I just want to say today is the DNC kickoff. All right, in Chicago. Thank you. Today, ladies and gentlemen, marks the day that rising stars will begin to address the delegates in Chicago this week as the Democratic National Convention gets underway with speeches honoring President Biden's time in office while also celebrating a new name at the top of the ticket. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, the party will rally around its newly minted ticket today with renewed enthusiasm after Mr. President Biden stepped aside and Vice President Kamala Harris ascended to the party's helm. And a slew of Democrats from throughout the country will address delegates over 4 days in the lead up to speeches from the new presidential and vice presidential nominees. Harris's new running mate, Minnesota Governor Tim Walz, is expected to officially accept the vice presidential nomination on Wednesday night, while Harris will take the stage on Thursday to formally accept the presidential nomination. All right, and who do we have showing up today or throughout these 4 days? We have speakers for the 2024 Democratic National Convention. Speakers include, but are not limited to, Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson, President Joe Biden, First Lady Jill Biden, former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton, go ahead, Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker, former President Barack Hussein Obama, I love it, former First Lady Michelle Obama, let's go. Over MAGA, it really is. Of course, we'll have former President Bill Clinton, Tom Suzy, former Speaker Nancy Pelosi, come on. It should be Nancy Pelosi. Second Gentleman Doug Emhoff, let's go. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer, House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries. Over MAGA. Minnesota Governor Tim Walz and this is very special, and Vice President Kamala Harris! Let's go! It's over. Thank you. See, ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be, I'm going to say, probably one of the most incredible weeks of our lifetime. We are single-handedly watching the Democrats rescue this country from a dark and dangerous lunatic and his cult. So, one more round of applause for the DNC convention. Let's go. All right, now let's get back into some MAGA business, all right? So we got a couple of things to bring up today, ladies and gentlemen. Things are not looking so good in Trump world, all right? And I want you all to really pay attention to this man's social media posts. His social media posts are a sign or a peek into the chaos that's brewing within the cult, all right? And here's the thing. There has to be a shakeup. Trump campaign in turmoil as he looks for someone to blame. Who should Donald Trump blame, ladies and gentlemen? Let's see. All right, let's go. Despite claims of calm emanating from Donald Trump's presidential campaign staff, they are continually finding themselves at odds with the former president, who continues to ignore strategic plans put together for him to grapple with the candidacy for Vice President Kamala Harris. Okay, according to reports from the Washington Post, Trump's campaign inner circle saw a presentation on their plans for the 2024 election. All right, presented to select reporters, go down the drain immediately when guess what Donald Trump did? He went off script and launched into personal attacks.
You don't mind if I go off teleprompter for a second, do you?
You don't mind if
I go off teleprompter for a second, do you?
How do you Trump supporters get behind this guy right here? I mean, this guy is too old to be running anything. All right? He can't even run a campaign without staying on script. And by the way, you heard him acknowledge that he has to use a teleprompter. Good morning, Moo. So you have this candidate that has to use a teleprompter, but doesn't even know how to use it. This is some sick stuff you guys gotten yourself into. The report notes that up until midsummer, the campaign had been, quote, drama-free but the decision by President Joe Biden to step aside caught everyone flat-footed, including the former president, who is now looking for someone to blame as things have fallen apart. According to reports, advisors and donors are trying to keep Donald Trump focused. At a high-end fundraiser in Aspen last weekend, Hot liar Steve Wynn encouraged the former president to quote, stick to the issues at a private roundtable. Okay, you can imagine these billionaires and these wealthy people who support Donald Trump. Hey, Trump, stay on topic. Talk about the economy. Talk about immigration. You know, they say this to Donald Trump. And what does Donald Trump do?
You don't mind if I go off teleprompter for a second, do you? We were a respected country. Now the whole world laughs at us. We're a bunch of foolish people to have allowed this to happen. But
all right. Trump insiders admit they are not surprised that the former president is once again listening to too many people outside of the campaign for advice, with the report noting that he's been spending his evenings and weekends complaining about the state of affairs as Harris pulls ahead in the polls. According to the Post, on one recent weekend, Trump dialed allies, raising concerns and asking questions about the campaign's direction and strategy. This person said, but the following Monday, he again assured his top advisors that their jobs were safe and that he did not know where speculation about their fate had come from. The person said, quote, he is never going to take the blame himself. The insider explained, he is not going to say, oh, I shouldn't have said this, or maybe we shouldn't have done that. So there has to be a shakeup. And guess what? We're going to help them get a shakeup, ladies and gentlemen. You know what we got to do. It's with great honor that I ask you all to join me in giving Donald Trump. All right. And this is a guy that can't stay on teleprompter, has to ask for permission to go off teleprompter, which makes absolutely no sense. This is a guy who's running to be president again, who already had a chance to be president, right? He lost. He was impeached twice. And even if he were to get the opportunity to be president again, I don't even believe he would make it a good month without being impeached. All right. But guess what we're going to do? Join me in giving Donald Trump and his deranged supporters who continue to waste their votes, supporting somebody they know is too old, too unfit, unqualified to be president of the United States. Join me in giving them a round of boos and shame. Let's give it to him, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go.
Silence, you MAGA demon.
All right, Scaramucci's bold prediction. And here it is, MAGA. I want you all to brace yourselves. Trump will be sentenced to jail before the election. All right. This is very important. Anthony Scaramucci predicts that Donald Trump will be sentenced to jail before the November election. What happened? Well, on Saturday, Scaramucci went on to X to express his view that Donald Trump will be sentenced to jail in September, which will cause his poll numbers to plummet. In response, he predicts that Trump will seek a sentence commutation or pardon. Here's the sequence. Trump is sentenced to jail in September, won't have to serve immediately, but jail time is his future. Poll numbers plummet. He panics out and has the perfect excuse. He will then seek a sentence commutation or pardon. Remember, it's all about him. All right. In another post, Scaramucci suggested that Trump confuses political asylum with insane asylum. You know what he's talking about, right? We had this conversation.
insane asylums, you know, they go crazy when I say the late great Hannibal Lecter. Okay, they say, why would he mention Hannibal Lecter? He must be cognitively in trouble. No, these are real stories. Hannibal Lecter from Silence of the Lamb is a lovely man. He wants to have you for dinner. He'd like to have you for dinner.
Scaramucci knows this man. He worked for Donald Trump. So when people who've worked for Donald Trump come out and say stuff like this, I take it very, very seriously, all right? Because it's very important. Scaramucci has also expressed strong criticism of Trump's planned rally in Howell, Michigan, a town with a controversial racial history. On Sunday, Scaramucci voiced his concerns on X about Trump's forthcoming crime and safety rally. He pointed out that Howell has been associated with the Triple K for decades and that a white supremacist march took place there just last month. See, I got these blacks, these Latins for Donald Trump, all right, that love to sit out here and say, oh, Donald Trump is not a racist. No, he's not a racist. But now we have another example on top of several other examples. You know, Joe Biden was right. Now they don't even wear the hoods, right? They don't even wear the hoods. They're doing it out in the open because they know they have an ally in Donald Trump. Why is he going to campaign with the Triple K and white supremacist group under the umbrella of crime and safety? Any blacks for Trump in my audience right now? I want to see if there's a black for Trump in my audience right now. Any blacks for Donald Trump in my audience? Put a 1 in the chat real quick. I got to ask you a question about this. See, I got to ask you a question.
You don't mind if I go off teleprompter for a second, do you?
Any blacks for Donald Trump in the chat? You know, normally I usually have a little, mostly a brother or two out there. I'm going to get Zeus today. Where are you at, Black Magic? Is Black Magic out there? What's his name? Black Jack? Black Jack? Are you out there, Black Jack? Come on up to the box real quick. I got to ask you a question. How do you overlook Donald Trump going to campaign with the Triple K? You see how we catch these Trump supporters? Now they're nowhere to be found. Black Jack, quit acting like you got a job or something. Quit acting like you got a job today and you can't get in the box. All right? Blackjack know he's been cooked. All right? He knows there's no excuse for that. Scaramucci argued that the choice of the location for the rally is a bullhorn, not a dog whistle, and that it will not go unnoticed by black and Jewish communities in Michigan. All right? He ended his tweet with the call to action stating, quote, "We will work hard to defeat him because we are better than this," right? Ladies and gentlemen, you know what we got to do. Join me once again in giving Donald Trump and his supporters another round of booze and shame because they keep trying to act like they aren't what we say they are. And every time we look at them, they're doing the exact same thing, revealing to us that, number one, he's unfit, but then number two, he's racist. All right, you can't say he's not racist when we know he's going to go rally with the Triple K. Let's give him a round of booze and shame.
Silence, you MAGA demon.
Yeah. I can tell the Trump supporters that normally come in here and they try to troll Zeus. They're on their best behavior or they've decided to take the advice at the top of the show.
If you're not happy here, then you can leave. As far as I'm concerned, if you hate our country, if you're not happy here, you can leave.
Right.
If you're not happy in the U.S., if you're complaining all the time, very simply, you can leave. You can leave right now. Come back if you want. Don't come back. It's okay too. But if you're not happy, you can leave.
All right. I know what I saw. Donald Trump's nephew claims the ex-president is showing signs of, dementia as it runs in their family. How many of you guys still think Donald Trump is fit to be president of the United States? See, it's the old saying, what goes around. Ron Brown, you think, Ron Brown, you're okay with Donald Trump having dementia and running the country, Ron Brown? I hate Ron Brown. You might have dementia. Maybe you need a cognitive test, Ron Brown. During a recent interview with Dean Obadala, I don't know, I'm not pronouncing it right. You know, some of these words kind of come at you real fast, but we're going to get through it. He was asked about Donald Trump's mental fitness as concerns grow ahead of the 2024 election. Quote, you wrote about Donald's father and your grandfather having dementia the last years of his life, and that, don't you see anything? I'm going to ask you to be a doctor. Do you see anything in Donald that reminds you of the grandfather during the times of dementia? The host asked Fred during the interview on Friday, August 16th. You know, Donald said, oh my father was tip-top until the end. I can assure you that was not the case. Much like, he's making noise about crowd size again. I was on a cable station on Thursday and I said, guess what? I was sitting 2 rows behind him at the inauguration. I know what I saw, he continued. I know what I saw in my grandfather. I know what I saw in Donald's older sister, my Aunt Marianne. Thank you for saying I am not a doctor. I do not pretend to be. I know the warning signs from both my grandfathers, what it is and what it was. What it is. Fred added that Donald's cousin John Walters also has dementia. It runs in the family. I'm not happy about it because guess what? I worry about it myself too. Fred pointed out that it worries him that Donald is spewing nonsense and can't stick to message. Wow. Now, like in the North Carolina rally the other day, he had one goal: to talk about the economy in a state he shouldn't be at. He shouldn't be spending millions of dollars. So he goes to play the old merry tunes of craziness. You can tell his base, while still amped up and dangerous, you can see them kind of chilling out a little bit on this play. It may be on its way to being played out. Not immediately. Hold on, a little commercial popped up. Not immediately. They're going to be there for this election. There's no doubt about it, he said. But I mean, you could see it in the faces. Some people like, why the heck am I here in Las Vegas? It's 110 degrees out. Listening to sharks and electric batteries. All right, you remember this, ladies and gentlemen?
Because of MIT, my relationship to MIT, very smart. He goes, I say, what would happen if the boat sank from its weight and you're in the boat and you have this tremendously powerful battery and the battery's now underwater and there's a shark that's approximately 10 yards over there. By the way, a lot of shark attacks lately. Do you notice that? A lot of shark. I watched some guys justifying it today. Well, they weren't really that angry. They bit off the young lady's leg because of the fact that they were not hungry, but they misunderstood who she was. These people are crazy. He said there's no problem with sharks. They just didn't really understand a young woman swimming now really got decimated, and other people too. A lot of shark attacks. So I said, so there's a shark 10 yards away from the boat, 10 yards, or here. Do I get electrocuted? If the boat is sinking, water goes over the battery, the boat is sinking. Do I stay on top of the boat and get electrocuted? Or do I jump over by the shark and not get electrocuted? Because I will tell you, he didn't know the answer. He said, nobody's ever asked me that question. I said, I think it's a good question. I think there's a lot of electric current coming through that water. But you know what I'd do if there was a shark?
What?
Or you get electrocuted? I'll take electrocution every single time. I'm not getting near the shark. So we're going to end that. We're going to end it for boats. We're going to end it for trucks. The truck.
You hear that? Obviously, Donald Trump is spiraling out of control, all right? He's too old. He's 78 years old? He's showing signs of dementia. Clearly, he's unfit to be the president of the United States. And so guess what we're going to do? Ladies and gentlemen, join me in giving Donald Trump another round of, you guessed it, boos and shame, because he's just too old.
Silence, you.
All right. Let's move it along, ladies and gentlemen. Kayleigh McEnany is destroyed after asking why abortions are no longer safe, legal, and rare. How many of you saw this yesterday? I said, you know what? We got to get this out in the open because some folks think they are smart until you put them in the spot and tell them to actually put some meat on the bone. And then It's like bringing up one of these Trump supporters, all right? You ask a Trump supporter, now say it to my face. They say it to your face, and then you go ahead and you steamroll them. Listen to how Kayleigh McEnany gets steamrolled on Fox News. All right, this is amazing.
That is so well said, and you are absolutely correct about the economic reasons. Polling does show that most women do want to keep their child if they have the financial means to do so, which is why Rubio has a plan that I wish the party would double down on for women, giving them that economic opportunity, Unborn Child Support Act, and so on and so forth. But you make a really important point. Safe, legal, and rare was the Democratic mantra in 2008. Let's play it.
Therefore, what I have worked for many years is to make abortion safe, legal, and rare.
That's Hillary Clinton.
What happened to that, Marie?
Well, first, let's go back to our Fox polling from this morning. That abortion and healthcare are the third and fourth highest ranked issues that voters care about. On the first, Kamala Harris outpolls Donald Trump by 16 points, and on healthcare by 11. And I think one of the reasons for that is because Kamala Harris and other national Democrats have talked about abortion as healthcare, which it is. In Republican-led states where they have banned abortion, we have women in ER bathrooms almost bleeding to death because doctors... Wait, let me finish, Katie. Let me finish.
Katie, let her finish.
Because doctors are terrified because of Republican legislators of treating women who medically need what is technically an abortion. And I think it should be safe, legal, and rare. I think Democrats do better when we don't appear to be celebrating abortion. But I think when we remind people that it is a health care necessity in some cases for women for health reasons. And on the flip side, Donald Trump refuses to say whether he would sign a nationwide abortion ban, which again doesn't just impact women who choose not to have a child, who choose not to,
very clear.
but women who for health reasons are not able to carry a child to term. Republicans have become so extreme on this. J.D. Vance is incredibly extreme on this. And I think Democrats do best, to your point, Kayleigh, when they say safe, legal, and rare.
Marie, let me ask you one thing before I get Charlie in here. What about Tim Walz and the babies that survived medical abortions, and at least 9 on his watch were not given treatment in Minnesota? Should Democrats have to address that extremity? Born alive infants not given care.
I think that Democrats have been very clear that they want a return to what Roe v. Wade had in place nationally. And that when it is left up to the states, it results in women in danger, medically in danger. We have already seen real life examples of American women almost bleeding to death because doctors are terrified that they cannot give them care.
You hear that? Kayleigh, you hear that? For you to get on Fox News and act like it's not a healthcare matter and it's something other than that, and you're a woman, it speaks volumes to me in terms of how deep you are in that cult. This is the problem with a lot of you Trump supporters. You're arguing in your own worst interest, and you're doing it 10 toes down. I've never seen anything like this. This is why I say you're a disgrace to this country. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in giving Kayleigh McEnany what she deserves. You guessed it. A round of, you guessed it, what? Booze and shame. She don't get it. She doesn't get it.
Silence, you MAGA.
Okay. All right. Now we got some incredible news, ladies and gentlemen. I know you heard it. I don't have all of my sound effects that I normally have, but this is a Pinky in the Brain moment. Supposedly, we got that dirt on Joe Biden, ladies and gentlemen. All right. And you wouldn't believe it. You wouldn't believe it. Okay, the Ways and Means Oversight and Judiciary Committees have released a report on impeachment inquiry finding Joe Biden has committed impeachable conduct. Can you believe this, ladies and gentlemen? They're saying this stuff Joe Biden did was impeachable. I said, wow, finally, on the day the DNC convention begins, they released this report. All right. And you can't make this stuff up, folks. All right. This is from Fox News.
The Fox News alert. All new this morning, House Republicans finding President Biden and his family received more than $27 million from foreign individuals and entities since 2014. Lawmakers call it an impeachable conduct. Brooke Singman is in Chicago with this story. Brooke,
Okay, really?
good morning.
Yeah. Good morning, Ainsley. I obtained a copy of this 292-page report from House Republicans. They're on the House Oversight, Judiciary, and Ways and Means Committees, and they've been leading this impeachment inquiry against President Biden for months. So they said their investigation found that President Biden engaged in impeachable conduct and said he abused his office and, quote, defrauded the United States to enrich his family. Republicans revealed that since 2014, the Biden family and its associates received more than $27 million from foreign individuals and entities. They also found that while Biden was serving as vice president, the Biden family got more than $8 million in loans from Democratic benefactors, and they say those loans have not been repaid. So this report says, in part, quote, as vice president, President Biden actively participated in a conspiracy by, among other things, attending dinners with his family's foreign business partners and speaking to them by phone, often when being placed on speakerphone by Hunter Biden. Republicans are calling out a 2014 dinner that Hunter Biden and his father attended with a Russian oligarch. After that dinner, the oligarch wired $3.5 million to Hunter Biden's firm. Now, this report says, quote, several witnesses testified that Hunter Biden invoked his father in business dealings with Romanian, Chinese, Kazakhstani, and Ukrainian companies, resulting in millions of dollars flowing to the Biden family. They're also calling out Biden for his handling of classified documents. House Republicans are now calling for Biden to be impeached. Ainsley?
So there's so many things that I gotta address. All right. And I seen some people out there saying, see, Zeus, we told you Biden is breaking the law. All right. So let's just go to fact. Let's just say Biden broke the law. How many people believe President Biden broke the law? All right. Put a 1 in the chat. I'm just curious. You believe President Biden broke the law? I don't believe being on a phone call with your son is breaking the law. I'm sorry. I don't. All right. Anybody else? Luis, you believe Biden broke the law? Interesting. Conservative Democrat, you believe Biden, by the way, don't mute conservative Democrat. He's a loyal Zeus fan. All right. Please don't mute him. He says, Zeus, your mods beat me up so much. Please don't mute me. So I don't believe calling your son conservative is a crime. All right. I don't believe that. But let's just say, because he called his son, it is a crime. All right. Because supposedly the Biden family, they call them the Biden crime family. They made a bunch of money. Oh, okay. All right, Lewis. I was double checking with you. Oh, Cleveland Tommy. Okay, Cleveland Tommy. All right, Cleveland Tommy. I'm going to ask you to come up here and help me understand where the crime is, if you don't mind. Cleveland Tommy, I know you're busy working your second job, all right? Or maybe even your third job under the Biden, administration, right? Could you just take a quick time, a little bit of a break and get up here and explain to us where the crime is? Because I don't think talking to your son is a crime. I don't see it. Where is the crime, Cleveland Tommy? Cleveland Tommy, come on. We don't got all morning. Get in the box and put some meat on the bone. Otherwise, I'm going to tell my moderators to mute Cleveland Tommy because I don't want you polluting my comment section with your lies, Cleveland Tommy. So I'm going to give you a couple of more seconds. 3, 2, 1. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Cleveland Tommy is no longer allowed to speak. Give him a 5-minute, if you don't mind. Put him in a straitjacket for 5 minutes. Yes. All right. Now, I do have a question though, while we're on the subject, ladies and gentlemen. While we're on the subject, how many of you are familiar with this document? All right. For those of you who are not familiar with this document, let me explain to you what this is. This is a House of Representatives document that provides evidence on how princes, prime ministers, and premiers paid off President Donald Trump, All right, while he was president. All right. And you know, if you believe Joe Biden is guilty, you're arguing Donald Trump is guilty. All right. And so what I would like for us to do is to jump to, let's go to page 14, and let's look at some of the money Donald Trump made while he was president and the countries that the money came from. Believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen, according to the sources, Donald Trump made $5.5 million from China. And the way he got the money was through Trump Tower, Trump International Hotel in Washington, D.C., Trump International Hotel in Las Vegas. Wow. He made $600,000+ from Saudi Arabia through those same hotels. Also, we have Qatar. He made $400,000. Kuwait, $300,000. India, $200,000+. Malaysia, Afghanistan, Philippines, UAE, the Democratic Republic of Congo, Kazakhstan, Thailand, Mongolia, Lebanon, Albania, Kosovo, Latvia, Turkey, Hungary, Cyprus, and so on. Ladies and gentlemen, what we have right here is evidence that Donald Trump was engaged in conspiracy after conspiracy while he was president of these United States. This is real influence peddling. This isn't just calling Don Jr., perhaps Eric. This isn't just giving Jared Kushner a call. This is evidence that Donald Trump was raking it in. And out of all countries, China? Any Trump supporters in the chat right now that want to explain this to Zeus before I move on? Because as far as I'm concerned, you've given us all we need. Let's just say Donald Trump wins and becomes president. Let's just say it. As soon as he gets in there won't be no dictator on day one. We're talking impeachment on day one, right? Right? So any Trump supporters want to get in the box and explain how they can excuse Donald Trump making all this money while he was president? I didn't think so. Yeah, he turned the White House into a trap house. Yeah, it's China, ladies and gentlemen. Look at this right here. Look at that. Look at this. There's the rest of the countries. They know. You Trump supporters know once again, you make your bed hard, you got to lay in it, all right? And be careful when you dig a ditch for someone to throw them in, because guess what? 9 times out of 10, you're going to end up jumping in the ditch yourself. Ladies and gentlemen, it's with great honor that we do this. Join me in giving Donald Trump and his supporters once again another round of booze and shame, because here we are, the day of the DNC convention. We're being told Joe Biden needs to be impeached because his son, his brothers, and family members and friends, they made some money that just so happened to happen while he was a public figure. And we should impeach Joe Biden because he was on the phone sometimes. All right? Why? Because they got money. Okay, well then if you're going to impeach him, well guess what we're going to do? Well, it looks like Donald Trump, True King, thank you for the subscription. It looks like Donald Trump has also made some money, all right? And it's, to me, directly tied to him being president of the United States. He wasn't making this kind of money before he was president. This is because this was real influence peddling, right? Join me in giving Donald Trump a round of, you guessed it, booze and shame, because this is the real crime right here, and this is an impeachable offense. Let's give him some booze and shame. See that?
Silence, you MAGA demon.
See, they don't like me because I get out here on TikTok and I tell the truth. All right. I have no reason to lie to you. They say, Zeus, why don't you show us where you get the information? It's right there. You could go look it up. I'm paraphrasing it because I'm only supposed to be live for maybe 2 hours. You should be able to go look all this information up, fact check it, and come to your own conclusion. But they don't like me because I do this and I call them out in real time. All right. And so, speaking of calling these MAGA demons, I call them MAGA demons, and you know, they get mad at me because I call them MAGA demons, but they have to understand I'm doing it because it's coming from a place of love, and it's tough love, right? These folks are on their way to getting the ultimate MAGA reward, jail, and if you don't get your soul right, hell, with a chapter 11 in between. And so it is up to, I'm doing this as an act of charity, really. I'm really trying to stop these Trump supporters, all right? I'm really trying to stop you Trump supporters from going straight to the pits of hell in the lake of fire. That's all right? And it's tough. It's tough to hear all of this truth come at you at once, but guess what? Somebody has to do it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, guess what? Look at the time. Now we must wrap things up and then get ready to open up those boxes, all right? And hear from those of you who are brave enough to get in the box and to tell the truth. But before we move forward, yes, I agree, Sneaky Fingers. We must deport MAGA. All right, Attacking, I got you. All right, before I move forward, though, you know what we got to talk about? It looks like things are once again cooking on the January 6th front, all right? So, with that being said, you know what we got to talk about? We got another MAGA demon, ladies and gentlemen, that we must sentence, all right? All right, we got another J6er. Thank you, Dark Frank. I really do appreciate it. All right, let's see. Where am I at? All right, let me see where I'm at. Okay, here we go. Okay, so before I go further, Zeus, can you show the screen before? Which one do you want to see? This one? You want to see this one? Which one is it? Is it this one? Which one are you looking for? I can show it, yes. You said you want me to show you the screen before. Are you there? Are you there? Who asked for that? Let me make sure, because I'm about to move on. Who was it that asked me that? Zeus, can you... okay, yeah, okay. The David that crochets. All right, can you show the screen before? David, do you got it? Oh, the spreadsheet. All right. Let me see if I can get you that. This one right here. This is on page. If you go to this report, David, go to pages 14 and 15, and you'll be able to see the list of countries Donald Trump got money from, the amount he got, and from which business entity he used to get the money. All right, it's pretty much open and shut case. This guy's guilty. All right, you got it. All right, now let's move it along, ladies and gentlemen. Let's move it along, because I gotta wrap things up and then get straight into the conversations. All right, we got a lot going on today. One of the things that I like to cover is January 6th. All right, and why are we going to cover this? It's because a lot of people still to this day, they don't know what happened on January 6th. They don't understand how Donald Trump set them up. So hopefully this message goes out to somebody and helps them understand. What's right above me, ladies and gentlemen, this is the unemployment rate, all right? And as you can see, something really nasty was going on in 2020. And you want to know what it was? It was the pandemic. It was the civil unrest that was going on. How many of you remember the protests that were going on, right? You had a climate that was demanding change, all right? Begging for change. And clearly, Donald Trump wasn't cutting it, right? So Donald Trump knew his days were numbered in terms of him being president of the United States. He knew he wasn't going to get reelected. He knew Joe Biden was going to win because he sees the poll numbers. He feels the energy just like everybody else. And so what did Donald Trump do, ladies and gentlemen, in order to try to remain in power illegally? Well, he engaged in some schemes. All right. Can you say schemes, MAGA? Okay, because these are two kind of schemes he did. One, obviously, was the fake elector scheme. You know, when he pressured Brad Raffensperger in Georgia to find him those votes. But then the other scheme, more dark, dubious, and dangerous, was the big nasty. It was a nasty lie. All right. He lied to his supporters. All right. And tried to get them to be in on the scheme in ways you just couldn't imagine. Some of them were really in. Some of them innocently got sucked in. But I'll explain how. So, after the results of the election came in, Donald Trump should have came out and conceded to Joe Biden. It was that simple. It's sort of like, hey, sir, can you stay on teleprompter? But what did Donald Trump do, ladies and gentlemen, when he saw that he lost to Joe Biden? Does anybody remember? Well, we all remember what he did. he came out and he gave his supporters what I call the biggest dose of cruelty a president could ever give their supporters. He lied to them, and he convinced them that not only should they not trust the results of the election, but he also convinced them that he won. Listen to how he convinces them not to trust the results.
We had such a big night. You just take a look at all of these states that we've won tonight, and then you take a look at the kind of margins that we've won them by. And all of a sudden, it's not like we're up 12 votes and we have 60% left. We won states, and all of a sudden, I said, what happened to the election? It's off. And we have all these announcers saying, what happened? And then they said, oh, because you know what happened? They knew they couldn't win. So they said, let's go to court. And did I predict this, Newt? Did I say this? I've been saying this from the day I heard they were going to send out tens of millions of ballots. I said exactly, because either they were going to win, or if they didn't win, they'll take us to court.
Right.
So Florida was a tremendous victory.
Right.
300.
So he's causing his supporters to doubt the results of the election. But listen to this Houdini magic trick that he plays on his supporters to get them to actually believe he won. Listen to what he does.
North Carolina, big victory with North Carolina. And so we won there. We lead by 76,000 votes with almost nothing left. And all of a sudden everything just stopped. This is a fraud on the American public. This is an embarrassment to our country. We were getting ready to win this election. Frankly, we did win this election. So our goal now is to ensure the integrity for the good of this nation. This is a very big moment.
No. See, that was a lie. Think about it. He convinced his supporters that the score just magically changed. Name one time in sports history or anywhere where the score just magically changes because the loser said it changed. It doesn't work that way, ladies and gentlemen, and you know it. So what did Donald Trump do once he got his supporters to believe the election was stolen? Do you all know what he did? All right, because this is where it gets real dark. This is where it gets real sinister. He decided it's time to capitalize on their anger. All right. And so I'll show you what he did. How many of you remember this? Let me see if I can go find it real quick. All right. He goes onto he didn't have Truth Social at the time. All right. He didn't have Truth Social. But what he did have, he had, what was it called? Twitter. It was called Twitter at the time. I'm sorry. I had a little bit of a brain fog because, they've changed it from Twitter to X, right? Because now Elon wants to be, deranged, right? So he goes on to X, all right, ladies and gentlemen. And he posts something, all right? This is what he posted. He goes, attention, all Trump supporters. I lost to Joe Biden. And I'm very angry. So what I need you to do is I need you to send me everything you have. Go under your mattress. Send me what you got. Whatever you found in the corner of the couch. Just send it to daddy. Because I'm your daddy, all right? But then I'm going to need you to do me a huge favor. I'm going to need you to meet me in Washington, D.C. at a big protest, all right? On January 6th, all right? Be there will be wild, right? And you know what his supporters said? They said, oh my gosh, an opportunity to be wet and wild with daddy? How can I pass up on such a great thing? Right? So one by one, they all started sending him their money. All right, here you go. Here, take my money. I even got crypto, Mr. President. Take my crypto. And he just took your money. All right. And then you all said, now that we don't have much money, we got to still figure out how to get to Washington, D.C. Right? So you needed to figure out how to get there. And you wouldn't believe it, ladies and gentlemen, but they figured out how to get there. Look at that right there. You know what they used to get to DC? U-Hauls. This is a mass transportation vehicle. All right, and as you can see, these folks, they don't mind cramming in the back of these U-Hauls like a bunch of sardines. Because guess what? In their mind, they're on their way to meet Daddy. Now, I know you're asking me, Zeus, who are those people in the back of the U-Haul? Well, take a look. You know who that is, right? That's the Patriot Front. Those are white supremacists. The Boogaloo Boys, the Oath Keepers, Proud Boys. These are white supremacist groups heading to Washington, D.C. to commit crimes and be racist. I mean, I'm not making this up. And you know what really bothers me about this? It's the fact that they wear those masks, right? These are the same knuckleheads during the pandemic. Excuse me, sir. Please put a mask on while you're shopping and you're buying your groceries, right? You go into the store and they got the mask. The mask is hanging like this right over their nose, right? And you go, sir, could you put the mask up over your nose? We can still see the stuff coming in. I can't breathe. This is what they say. I can't breathe. But it's so funny that when it's time to be racist and commit crimes, you can breathe and put that mask on. You see how we catch you Trump supporters in your lies? These are the folks, ladies and gentlemen. These were Donald Trump's foot soldiers, amongst others, that made that trek to Washington, D.C. All right? So, what happens when they get to Washington, D.C.? You just can't go inside the Capitol at your own will. You got to wait until your daddy, a.k.a. modern day Jefferson Davis, gives you the orders to go into the Capitol. So, they get to the Capitol, and then they get an update. Who do they get an update from? You know who I call this person? That's Marjorie Taylor Greene. Many of us think of her as the pipe bomber. And if you look real close, some of us see her as 3 toes, all right? She has 3 toes, and she's 6 toes down for what's about to happen on January 6th. Somebody should really look into the whole 6 toes down and January 6th. Any Q experts out there, please look into it because I promise you there's a connection. So MGC, Marjorie Taylor Greene, she gives these Trump supporters an update. You listen to what she says.
If we have a sea of people, if we shut down the streets, if we shut down everything, if we flood the Capitol building, flood all the government buildings, go inside. These are public buildings. We own them. We own these buildings. Do you understand that? We own the buildings and we pay all the people that work in the buildings.
You don't own those buildings. That was a lie. You don't got the title to none of those federal buildings. You don't got a lease to any of those buildings. But you see what she did. She amplified the lie that Donald Trump was telling his supporters as he was taking their money. This is evil at work, ladies and gentlemen. This is evil beyond things you could never think of on your own. Only a wicked and corrupt person could think of stuff like this, all right? That's why I say it's a scheme. So now that these supporters are sitting at the Capitol, wet and ready for their daddy, and they're ready to break the law, all right? What goes on next is definitely something you need to always remember in terms of our history of the United States, because this is when we almost lost our country. There was an exchange, ladies and gentlemen, that took place in the White House between Donald Trump and his then vice president at the time, Mike Pence. How many of you remember this moment in American history? All right. Oops, I thought I had it, but give me a second. There was an exchange that took place between Donald J. Trump and his vice president. Let me see. Where is it at? Ladies and gentlemen? It's up. Bear with me. Here it goes. Here we go. All right. I think we're somewhere close, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go. There we go. There he is. That's Donald Trump and his vice president, Mike Pence. Donald Trump moseys on into the office where Mike Pence is, and he says, Mike Pence, buddy, old pal, I got everything in motion. I got that fake elector scheme in motion, and I got my soldiers waiting for me at the ellipse. All I need you to do, Mike Pence, is that thing you and I talked about. You know, don't you dare certify those votes for Joe Biden. All right? And out of nowhere, Mike Pence, he grew a little spine that day. All right? And he says, unfortunately, Mr. President, I won't be able to do that. Because in order for me to do that, it would require me to place you above the United States Constitution. A document that our founding fathers and framers fought and bled for. A document that to this day, Americans continue to fight and bleed for. And frankly, I don't believe anyone asking me to do such a thing is fit to be president of these United States. That's what his vice president said to him. Can you believe this? You don't believe Mike Pence said it? Well, we got the receipts.
Irrespective of the indictment, I want the American people to know that I had no right to overturn the election. And then on that day, President Trump asked me to put him over the Constitution. But I chose the Constitution, and I always will. Anyone who puts himself over the Constitution should never be president of the United States. And anyone who asks someone else to put themselves over the Constitution should never be president of the United States again. And what the president maintained that day, and frankly has said over and over again over the last 2.5 years, is completely false. I dismissed it out of hand, but sadly the president was surrounded by a group of crackpot lawyers that kept telling him what his itching ears wanted to hear. And I had hoped that on this matter of January 6th that it wouldn't come to this, because I do believe that this is going to further ignite the divide in the country. It'll be up to the government now to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that this actually represented criminal activity. But what I want the American people to know is that I know in my heart of hearts that I did my duty under the Constitution that day.
You hear that? So that's Mike Pence confirming he was not going to place Donald Trump above the Constitution. And so what did Donald Trump do? I'll tell you what he did. He leaned into Mike Pence and he says, you know what your problem is, Pence? You're a little too honest. And he called him the nasty P word. The same P word you so-called Christians heard him say on that infamous Access Hollywood tape right before you went and cast your vote for him. Talk about being hypocrites, right? I'll take care of this myself. This is what Trump says. Security, take me to the ellipse. And then Secret Service says, sir, these people are armed to the teeth. They got military grade equipment. They got tactical gear. They got medical whips and chains. And they got this thing called demon spray. Trump says, demon spray? Yes, Mr. President. Well, what's demon spray? Well, you take a little pepper spray, you take a little bear spray and a little mace, and you take some orange dye or something, right? And you shake it all up. And then what happens is, if you spray it on somebody, they end up getting possessed with the MAGA demon. Donald Trump says, really? And this is before the Butler incident, right? Yes, Mr. President. And he goes, I don't care. Take me to meet up with my troops. They're not bringing that stuff there to harm me. Secret Service, they thought about it, and then they said, you know what? He's right. He has a point. And then they took him to the ellipse. And when he got to the ellipse, ladies and gentlemen, you all remember that infamous day in American history. This picture right here, ladies and gentlemen, will go down in American history as probably one of the most darkest moments of the United States history in which a president actively participated in an insurrection. When I saw Donald J. Trump get on stage, I saw this trench coat and I saw these leather gloves, and I said to myself, oh my goodness, trench coat and leather gloves? And I thought about those leather gloves, and I said, last time we had leather gloves in American history, what did we think? We thought OJ. I said, this isn't going to end well. Whatever this man's about to do, this isn't going to end well, because he's already looking like a criminal. And what did Donald Trump do? He got on stage at the ellipse and he encouraged his loyal supporters to engage in heinous acts of violence.
Now it is up to Congress to confront this egregious assault on our democracy. And after this, we're going to walk down, and I'll be there with you. We're going to walk down. We're going to walk down anyone you want, but I think right here we're going to walk down to the Capitol, and we're going to cheer on are brave senators and congressmen and women, and we're probably not going to be cheering so much for some of them, because you'll never take back our country with weakness. You have to show strength, and you have to be strong.
So that's Donald Trump encouraging his soldiers to engage in heinous acts of violence. And it wasn't just Donald Trump. He had help.
Who hides evidence? Criminals hide evidence, not honest people. So, over the next 10 days, we get to see the machines that are crooked, the ballots that are fraudulent, and if we're wrong, we will be made fools of. But if we're right, a lot of them will go to jail. So, let's have trial by combat.
All of us here today do not want to see our election victory stolen by emboldened radical left Democrats, which is what they're doing, and stolen by the fake news media. That's what they've done and what they're doing. We will never give up. We will never concede. It doesn't happen. You don't concede when there's theft involved.
So as you can see, he's radicalizing his supporters, and he's getting them ready to proceed with attacking the United States Capitol. He's basically getting them to participate in a domestic terrorist attack. All right? Now, a lot of people go, Zeus, you left out the part where he said peacefully and patriotically. And I say to you, well, there's really no reason to play that, because how many of you remember who this woman was? That's Ashley Babbitt, who was there on January 6th. All right? Listen to the stuff she was saying, and you tell me where she mentioned the words peacefully or patriotically. Please. She was there. Listen to what she says.
Where is everybody? Huh? You got where is Kamala? Where is Kamala? Talking about ISIS like KKK. We got this martyr kid. You know what? We have thousands of people on the other side of the border. You people can't get to work. Our economy is going to take an absolute tank because you guys refuse to choose America over your stupid political party. There's an estimated over 3 million people here today. So despite what the media tells you, boots on the ground definitely say something different. There is a sea of nothing but red, white, and blue hatreds and Trump. And it was amazing. You can see the president talk. We are now walking down the inaugural path to the Capitol building. 3 million plus people.
All right. So you hear Ashley Babbitt literally narrating from the crime scene. 3 million people, a sea of nothing but red, white, and blue patriots for Donald Trump. And you all remember what happened to Ashley, right? This is the moment when Ashley was in the Capitol and she ended up losing her life in the battlefield for Donald Trump. Ashley Babbitt lost her life in the battlefield because of Donald Trump's big, nasty lie. She wouldn't have been there if he would have simply conceded to Joe Biden. This is what happened, ladies and gentlemen. And this is one of the parts that really gets me. What did Donald Trump do when he found out that he had lost one of his foot soldiers, a woman he should have protected, right? What did he do when he found out one of his foot soldiers had lost her life in the battlefield for his cause?
Is that Donald Trump was passed a note after one of the rioters was shot in the Capitol and was made clear that this person had been shot, this woman had been shot in the chest. And the valet says that he offered no reaction upon learning that. He kept sitting in the chair watching the violence unfurl on TV.
A non-reaction at the death of Ashley Babbitt.
Wow. He didn't do anything. As far as he was concerned, he was angry that she didn't complete the mission. Remember, the mission was to allow him to remain in power, right? She was just somebody that failed to complete the mission to him. Nothing. This is what we're talking about, ladies and gentlemen, when we're talking about the crime scene of January 6th. This was not a peaceful movement like BLM. This was not a tourist visit that had gone awry. This was a crime scene planned and organized by Donald J. Trump all the way down to his foot soldiers. All right? This is what America remembers, ladies and gentlemen. And now that we are at this crime scene of January 6th, I have another update about another seditious, treasonous traitor, ladies and gentlemen, that has been brought to justice. Actually, it's not just one this time. All right, we got a 2-for-1 combo today, ladies and gentlemen. Please, if you don't mind, bear with me. A father-son duo from Steuben County faces charges related to January 6th Capitol riot. This is coming from Rochester, New York. New documents revealed more about the January 6th riot at the United States Capitol back in 2021, which left officers bloodied and sent lawmakers into hiding. More than 1,000 people have been arrested in connection to the riot. Just last week, 2 Steuben County men, a father-son duo, were arrested. The two joining a growing list of local individuals facing criminal action for their alleged roles in the riot. Video footage of the historic incident captured the suspects numerous times on January 6th, both inside and outside of the Capitol building. Federal officials claim Charles Schimmel Sr. and his youngest son, Logan Schimmel, were among the hundreds of rioters that day. They hail from Plattsburgh, New York, and Steuben County. Right before heading to the Capitol, the two were caught on camera at an event called Stop the Steal Rally at the National Ellipse, according to court documents. During an interview with the FBI in March of 2022, Charles Schimmel said he drove to Washington, D.C. by himself the day before the riot, adding that he attended the rally alone. He never said he was physically with his son, Logan. Video footage and pictures from that day told a different story, though, according to investigators. In 2022 interview with the FBI, Charles said he listened to speeches from former President Donald Trump at the rally before making his way to the Capitol. He again made no mention of his son, Logan. As he explained in the court documents, both men made their way to the Capitol together, walking with a large crowd. They then entered an area blocked off at the Capitol before fighting with and shoving police officers. Wow. Charles Sr. is allegedly seen waving a black and blue styled American flag with the word Trump on it. Investigators said the Schimmels were among some of the first people to enter the Capitol building on January 6th. Rioters were able to get in after kicking down and smashing a door and surrounding windows. This happened around the Senate wing. Investigators note this was the first official breach of the Capitol that day. Look at them right there. Look at these. Look at them breaching the Capitol. According to court documents, the Schimmels appeared to have somewhat a leadership role in the very beginning, allegedly directing and gesturing to the crowd once inside where to go. The Schimmels spent over an hour inside, according to investigators. The two rounded the halls, entered and looked into multiple rooms. On the way out, the two appeared to have spoken with multiple different officers. Body camera footage of the incident from Montgomery County police officers allegedly showed the Schimmels attempting to exit from the northwest stairs near the front of an established police line, ladies and gentlemen. All right. The two were accused of adding some resistance to the line, ignoring repeated commands to back up. The police then resorted to using tear gas and shields to move the crowd back, including the Schimmels, investigators said. While the duo was among the first to enter the building, they ended up being among the last to leave the area, according to court documents. After spending an hour inside, They spent about another 2 hours on the ground. The men face a number of charges, including felony offense of obstruction of law enforcement during a civil disorder, as well as several misdemeanor offenses. Trump was impeached on inciting an insurrection. Not insurrection. What? Oh my God. Ladies and gentlemen, you see what we have right here? We got two MAGA demons, seditionists, treasonous traitors that have been brought to justice. So you know what we got to do in the kingdom, right? First, let's give them a round of, you guessed it, boos and shame.
Silence, you MAGA demon.
All right, and because they wanted to be soldiers so bad in Donald Trump's army, all right, they wanted to be soldiers. You know what we got to do? Let's send them off the old-fashioned way.
I would like to begin by addressing the heinous attack on the United States Capitol. Like all Americans, I am outraged by the violence, lawlessness, and mayhem. I immediately deployed the National Guard and federal law enforcement to secure the building and expel the intruders. America is and must always be a nation of law and order. The demonstrators who infiltrated the Capitol have defiled the seat of American democracy. To those who engaged in the acts of violence and destruction, you do not represent our country. And to those who broke the law, you will pay. We have just been through an intense election and emotions are high, but now tempers must be cooled and calm restored. We must get on with the business of America. My campaign vigorously pursued every legal avenue to contest the election results. My only goal was to ensure the integrity of the vote. In so doing, I was fighting to defend American democracy. I continue to strongly believe that we must reform our election laws to verify the identity and eligibility of all voters and to ensure faith and confidence in all future elections. Now Congress has certified the results. A new administration will be inaugurated on January 20th. My focus now turns to ensuring a smooth, orderly, and seamless transition of power. This moment calls for healing and reconciliation. 2020 has been a challenging time for our people. A menacing pandemic has upended the lives of our citizens, isolated millions in their homes, damaged our economy, and claimed countless lives. Defeating this pandemic and rebuilding the greatest economy on earth will require all of us working together. It will require a renewed emphasis on the civic values of patriotism, faith, charity, community, and family. We must revitalize the sacred bonds of love and loyalty that bind us together as one national family. To the citizens of our country, serving as your president has been the honor of my lifetime. And to all of my wonderful supporters, I know you are disappointed, but I also want you to know that our incredible journey is only just beginning. Thank you, God bless you, and God bless America.
You see, ladies and gentlemen, you see how Donald Trump set his own supporters up and then turned around and told them that they do not represent this country? This is why we say he's the biggest threat to our democracy. Because he led the insurrection, he planned it, he organized it, and he got a bunch of you to pay the ultimate price. Your life, your freedom, your hard-earned money. For the biggest lie we've ever known. You know what Donald Trump likes to say, ladies and gentlemen? You know what he likes to say, right? What does he like to say? Hold on. Oh, yeah.
We were a respected country. Now the whole world laughs at us. We're a bunch of foolish people to have allowed this to happen. But
yeah, he likes to say the whole world is laughing at us. I got to correct Donald Trump. The world is laughing at MAGA. All right. It's not just the red hats, but it's the fact that Donald Trump is going to go down as arguably the most successful ringmaster. Out of all the businesses Donald Trump has created and bankrupt, this is probably the one business that he really should put on his taxes because he's running the largest circus known to mankind. All right. And you can tell it is a circus. All right. And all of you Trump supporters, you're in the circus. Trust me. All right. They say, Zeus, why you say it's a circus? I go, because number one, he does exactly what a clown does. All right. You ever seen a clown? A clown wears makeup, right? He does too. He wakes up every day. He puts that orange makeup on his face. Oh, don't I look so good? Right? A clown wears a wig. Donald Trump puts that bird's nest smack dab right there on his cranium. All right. You ever seen a clown with that thing around its waist and that ridiculous suit? This guy wakes up every day, puts on a diaper, puts on that same crumpled blue suit with that ridiculous red tie, and then he gets onto his social media platform. Look at him right there. About to get onto Truth Social, I call it Lies Central, and give you all your daily doses of lies. And y'all all believe it. Y'all eat it up. And I say, you know it's a circus because also, think about it. He's selling you gold shoes. You don't need gold shoes except for in a circus. You don't need Trump water except for in a circus. Trump bucks, Trump NFTs. Everything is just Trump, 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 Trump. He's selling you all stuff you don't need, all right? And playing you all like a fiddle. You know, I got something to say before I wrap this up, and then we're going to open up the boxes, all right? Because, you know, I've been talking for quite a while. It's time to hear from you. I've had Trump supporters, even right now, reach out to me and say, Zeus, you need to get on the Trump train because the Trump train is a path to victory. And I want you all to know this. I've looked at that Trump train. I really have. Intently. All right. I looked at it and I said, you know what that Trump train is? That Trump train is a first class trip to hell. It really is. Like I've been saying, every single one of you Trump supporters, you're going to get the ultimate MAGA reward. Jail. And if you don't get your soul right, hell with a chapter 11 in between, right? So this Trump train, I'm going to tell you Trump supporters how it's going to end real quickly. When you take your last breath on this planet, right? You're going to be riding on that Trump train and you're going to be thinking you're heading to those pearly gates to meet your maker. You're going to have your bags with you. Whatever Trump hasn't taken, you're going to take it with you. And you're going to get to the pearly gates and you're going to think you're going to get off right there and get ready to go party with the good Lord, right? You're going to get your bags and walk towards the exit and security is going to stop you and say, hey, where are you going? Oh, I'm getting ready to go party with the Lord, be one with Jesus. That's what a lot of these Trump supporters think they're going to do. And security is going to say, get back go back, sit down. You're not getting off here. Oh, no, this is my stop. And security is going to say, this is not your stop. Because you did not do the good works. Your work was of iniquity. You worshiped Donald Trump. You're evil. No, I'm a Christian. Remember, I'm a Christian. Didn't I say I was a Christian? And then security is going to play back the footage of all the disgusting things you've said and done on the internet, right? How you supported this guy even though you knew what he did with Jeffrey Epstein. You supported him even though you knew he was a convicted felon, cheated on his wives, fraudster. And then the good Lord's going to say, I don't want you around me. Bow the knee, say Jesus is Lord. Now go back into your seat. And that's what's going to happen. You're going to, oh my God. And then they're going to say, I didn't know. Oh, that's another lie because guess what? And they're going to play this live back to you. Weren't you in Zeus's live? And not just his live, but several others. And they gave you the truth and you just chose to ignore it. So no, you don't get to come into these pearly gates. Your next stop is hell. The lake of fire. And you're going to cry and you're going to go sit back in your chair on that Trump train, right? And that Trump train, ladies and gentlemen, is going to take off. Goodbye. Bye. First stop, Union Gang, first stop, hell, Lake of Fire. You Trump supporters better get it right, all right, before it's too late. Now, I'm going to open up the boxes, but I have a message from someone who's made it out of the cult. Listen up, MAGA.
To the Christians, do not be deceived. Stop thinking that everybody who waves a flag and shouts freedom is your friend and a good person, because we have people like this trying to join up in the movements. I found this out the hard way. I found it out the hard way. That not everybody is in things for the same reasons you are. I was in the People's Convoy, and what a fucking disappointment that ended up being. What a disappointment to find out that these people that you were with, they weren't like you. They didn't care about the country. They were a bunch of grifting motherfucking live streamers that wanted to make money off of the people in America who were hardworking and sending their money, little old ladies, old men, people who had to wait for their paychecks so they could give a little bit of money to help people drive around and shout freedom and fight for freedom. And to find out that it was really for nothing, to find out that the people involved, a lot of the people involved that are involved in this convoy right here were really bad people. They were bad people who did not care about the causes that they joined. They used them for their own profit. How sad is that? When there's people who really, really fucking care. There's people who really sacrifice for the causes. They sacrifice for the causes. For real. It's in their hearts. And these kinds of motherfuckers come to attach them.
You hear that? Get out of the cult before it's too late. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's open up those boxes. And here come those of you who are brave enough to get in the box and tell the truth. All right, brother attacking, how are you doing, my good friend?
I am good. Thank you for letting me up.
You're welcome.
Zeus, there's going to be a woman in your request box. Her name is Karma, Karma.
Okay.
And I think that it would be a very interesting person for you to talk to this morning.
Fair enough. Anything you want to give me a heads up about that I need to know, or should I just wing it? You know how I do.
I think it's something that's beneficial for everybody who's on the fence to listen to the young woman.
Oh.
I've been talking to her for a while, and so has other broadcasters, and she came to my broadcast yesterday and gave us some information. And the first thing I thought of, because you're a bigger broadcaster than I am, more people, I think this would be inspirational, listening to her, what she did, and how she came to her analysis of Trump and so on and so forth. And I think I'm not going to say anything. I think let her say it.
Fair enough.
I think it would be fantastic.
So you've been doing some field work and outreach, brother attacking. Is that what you're saying?
Several of us broadcasters like Doug and Mega Slayer and all these people have been talking with this nice woman and giving her information. And like I said,
well, I'm going to have to ask some very important questions. You know what I do when people come into my box? I got to ask the real questions. All right.
Oh, she'll have no problem answering your three questions. And I think once she passes that, you're going to be very happily surprised with what she has said. So I just wanted to. Her name is Karma.
I see her. I see Karma in my guest request. All right. Well, we got things to do then, brother attacking. Let's get her up here. All right.
Okay, I'll drop and I'll let you introduce yourself to her and her to you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up to Brother Attacking. No lies detected. No. Thank you for the subscription, and not just you, all the other subscribers. I'm so sorry I don't say it as much as I need to, all right, because sometimes I'm locked in, all right? Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to bring up Karma, all right? Attacking, this is a personal reference of Attacking, all right? Good morning, Karma. How are you doing?
Good morning. I'm doing well. How are you?
Another day in the kingdom, tending to the affairs as usual.
This
All
is
right.
the first time attending your broadcast, and I do want to say I've been listening for an hour, and you really had my attention.
Oh,
Very, very good.
Well, thank you. All right, you're really good at this. You're a natural, I can tell. Thank you so
No,
much.
not
All right.
really.
All right, all right. So, good morning. One of the things that I like to do when I meet people, especially when I don't have a good read on them, I ask them questions. There's 3 questions that matter. All right, these are of utmost importance in this kingdom. All right, so I'm going to ask you, and then we'll get into whatever it is that you wanted to talk about. All right. The first question, if you don't mind, is do you believe the 2020 election was rigged as Donald Trump describes it?
I have never believed that.
Let's go! That's pretty good. Okay, yeah, unblock Karma. Don't block people that don't need to be blocked. Blocking is a last resort measure. They got to be real nasty to block, but for the most part, straight jackets mods. Thank you, everyone. We got to work together as a team. All right, second question, Karma. If we had to place one person in terms of being responsible for the attack on the United States Capitol on January 6th, who would that one person be?
Donald Trump.
Let's go! You're good. I love it. Last and final question. Do you believe President Joe Biden is guilty of any crimes?
Not that I'm aware of, no.
Let's go! Now we did something. All right, you passed. All right, so what brings you to the show? I mean, Attacking, he has a lot of high remarks about you, and I rarely hear him say such things. So I believe there's something, or you have a journey or a story you have that maybe we could learn something from.
Well, me and Attacking have had actually a very cordial relationship, even though I did vote for Trump twice. And everything he has said, can you watch this? I will.
Wait a second. So, okay, you voted for Trump twice.
But I'm not voting for him again.
Well, what changed? That's interesting. That's interesting.
I've been listening to a lot of everything that's going on, and I've been going into a lot of, Harris lives, Biden lives, listening. And, like I was told, watch Dave rave, look at this, look at that,
Yeah.
I did. And I've never, ever, ever made an excuse for January 6th.
You've never made, what part of the country are you calling from, if you don't mind?
I'm in South New Jersey.
Oh, okay, South New Jersey. Okay. So what was the moment where you just said, because what I know is it is possible for a lot of people to get out of I call it a cult, all right? I say they got the demon in them. What was the breaking point for you?
When he decided to open up his trap and say that the civilian award was just so much better than the Congressional Medal of Honor. I'm a Gold Star family member, and he lost me at that point.
Really?
Yes. I did not know he said it. I was in MAGA Slayers Live. Lady Google said, I sent you to this, please watch it.
Okay, so what feeling, because when we talk feelings and we check in, what feeling came over you when
Complete disgust and heartbreak.
He let you down?
Well, he spit on my brother-in-law's grave is what he did. You don't say stuff like that. You spit on his grave. I have no respect for you.
Some people say that's just Trump being Trump, though.
No. I watched it multiple times.
Ginger, thank you, Ginger. So you're not buying it. That's just Trump being Trump.
No, not at all.
What about the fact that I would imagine you got a lot of people around you that are still supporting Trump?
Right now, I understand why y'all call us a cult. Because I have gotten threats. I have been harassed. I have been drugged through TikTok. Over all of this, like, welcome to your new communist regime. I have had text messages, direct messages, and I'm like, so because I decide to form my own opinion, and I think what the man said was absolutely disgusting, and I do use the word man very loosely, but I changed my mind. I can't vote for it, not in a good conscience, not in a good heart. I heard that, and it just made my head spin, because I go to a veteran cemetery multiple times a year, and notice I said cemetery, and he spit on every single one of them.
I'm not disagreeing with you on that, and actually, it's kind of sad for me that it's happening under these circumstances, but I'm also happy for you because I understand you're going to be going down a new direction, and I know that direction you're going down is going to be a lot brighter compared to the one you were in. So thank you for feeling comfortable enough to share that with me. All right. That does mean a lot. That's really what I'm out here to do, is to help people really get away from the fog of being a Trump supporter and actually start to see things as they are.
Well, me and my husband will both be voting for Harris.
So wait a second. Wow. That shocked me because I just thought you were done supporting him, but
No.
you've also decided to endorse somebody that he continues to attack and say is a terrible person. So it's almost like you don't
that's
trust
his opinion of her. That's not
So-
my opinion.
So is it that you don't trust anything Donald Trump says, or
I think
because
all of it's been bullshit up till now.
oh God, I'm going to let her. I'm going to give you a
run off
pass.
his lips.
Now wait a second. We keep it clean over here, all right? We
I'm
gotta
sorry.
keep it.
That was a bunch of crap.
Okay, all right. So you're fully done with it.
Yes. I have pulled all the posts down off of both of my TikTok accounts. All of my reposts are getting deleted out. All of the Trump stuff is going off of my TikTok. And I know I let Magus Slayer down because he wanted to see me burn all my Trump stuff, but I never donated a dime to him. I never bought a thing or donated anything, so whatever.
But okay, I would imagine, because how long have you been on TikTok? How long have you been on this app doing this?
I'd say about 3 years.
So you've been a part of the battle where we've been dealing with people calling us names, threatening.
See, I wasn't that person, and I think that's why Attacking asked me to come up yesterday when he asked me to join here. I have always been civil. I have said, okay,
but you know these people.
Oh, I do. And I mean, I've actually been very hit or miss on TikTok because of those people. Because if someone comes in with a different view, they're just name called and just slurred and dropped from boxes and muted. I wouldn't treat my neighbor like that. I wouldn't treat a stranger on the street like that.
But how are you going to navigate the path forward when I would say, because I know some of these people, these are some very angry,
nasty people.
They might decide they're going to come at you and they're going to call you names, right?
I've got thick skin.
They're going to make videos about you.
Let them.
They're going to say you were never down with them and that the Democrats shouldn't trust you.
I don't care about their opinions.
I mean, this is a great sign. You don't care about their opinions. Why do you think? But why do you think they still want to be in the cult then, even though you were able to independently verify he disrespected our soldiers? Why do you think they're still in the cult?
I really don't know. I mean, me and my husband were talking last night, and
is your husband still in the cult?
Huh?
Is your husband still in the cult?
No, I actually let him watch the video that I watched on his own free time with no influence from me. And he came back and he goes, I understand where you're at. And then he watched the whole thing because the clip I was sent was very short. And then he watched the whole thing and he said, Can't vote for him. Not going to do it.
Is he going to vote for Harris though?
Yes.
Oh wow.
Yes.
Wow. This you really, I mean, I thank you so much, Karma, because this to me is why I really wanted to get on TikTok, is to make these kind of moments happen and happen more frequently. I don't want to take credit though for you doing that on your own, but I'm definitely I'm happy to hear your story. I don't know. Other people might have questions for you. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, what I'm doing is trying to make sure we don't have what they call a relapse. You know what I mean?
Oh no, there's not going to be a relapse here. I make up my mind. We did it. We stood by it. And I've let a lot of things go that Trump said, and I've done what you said in the past, and I'm woman enough to own it. Yeah. Okay, when he was doing this work, not this time.
Okay, because you know where I'm going next. All right. The thing that blows my mind, and maybe you can help me understand it. Why did it take so much for you to see this? Because he's done a lot of things that are, to me, I wouldn't even went this far with him, right? I mean, before the convictions, all right, before the Jeffrey stuff that he's done, it was just right off the bat, I could see he's not a good person.
Well,
how did you overlook all of that? Because to me, that's going to be the hardest part of this, right?
I think I went dumb for 8 years. I do. I think my intelligence level just took like a little dip for 8 years, and now I'm finally climbing my way back out.
You went there. The D word. I don't know if that's okay, but
Okay.
you lost your mind. You lost your
intelligence level lacked for about 8 years.
But the information was there.
I just overlooked it, and I will admit I was completely ignorant to it. I made it. I did.
His bigotry. You overlooked the bigotry.
See, I didn't follow him I was never MAGA. Okay, I was never gotta watch every rally, gotta watch everything he does, everything he says.
But you've been on TikTok long enough. Like, I'm pretty sure you may have gone into Democrat lives and heard some of the things Democrats may have been saying about him. Maybe played some clips. I mean, it was open that he was, racist, right?
Now looking back, yes. And I have to admit, I mean, I don't hang on people's words. That's not I don't just go, oh, he said a word, I'm going to hang on it. I just kind of went, oh, okay, that's what he said, whatever. I walk in another room, but looking back, I'm ashamed of what I've supported.
Because we know he's racist.
Yeah.
You know he's a misogynist.
Yeah. And I always looked at it well, he's not my husband, so he's not my problem kind of thing. But now, and another thing is, when he did announce that J.D. Vance was going to be his vice president candidate, I went, ooh. And I took a step back, and Attacking's heard me, a lot of other lives have heard me where I've said, I can't vote for him. I can't. I'm going to struggle with this. I have a 22-year-old bonus daughter, because I don't like the word step. She's my bonus daughter. And I think about these things. And I really looked into Vance, and I went, oh, this is like, how is it TikTok friendly? Political unaliving.
Yeah.
It's just not a good look, and I took a step back, and I did go into, other lives and said, as of right now, I don't think I can vote. And then it went to, I'm pretty sure I'm not going to vote. But then when I saw what he did with the medals and what he said about how she was beautiful and she was alive and she was still here, and I went, done.
You were not able to overlook the disrespect Trump has towards our troops. You were not. That was the one thing. The misogyny, the xenophobia, the racism, the bigotry.
I think I was willfully ignorant. I do. And I'm ashamed of that. But, I own what I do. And I was wrong. I do pride myself on never slurring anybody or screaming at anybody in a live.
Well, a lot of people think because they don't do it, then it's okay, as long as I'm not doing it. But it's something about you not doing it, but aligning yourself with people.
No, actually, I left those lives because of it.
Oh, okay. I mean,
Because I couldn't stand a person coming into a box and just being slurred at, muted at, dropped out, and I stopped going into those lives. I haven't been in those lives for a good 6 months. Yeah,
Well,
I walked away. I did.
you know what I gotta say. I think you probably were pondering making this choice for a while. And that eventually the thing he said about our, the Medal of Honor versus the Medal of Freedom, that basically was the last point.
Yeah.
Because
It was the last
what I'm gathering from this conversation, and I don't want to hold you up. I know other people might want to come up and say something about the story you shared with us, and I might actually have you come back up, depending if somebody wants you to come back up. But what I'm gathering is, it took a while for you to build up the courage to do this. You've looked back at your behavior, and I see that you're able to identify things and own it in terms of, failures on your end.
So I'm ashamed of the person I've been for the past 8 years.
That's the way life works. In life, sometimes, you can't take things back. And the damage that you've caused or may have caused, I don't know what you've done, but
Well, I mean, Attacking knows me, RC Dub knows me. I know he's down in the comments too. I mean, I've never been that person that just yells, screams, degrades, or anything like that.
but if you are hanging out with those people, right? I mean, you know how this looks.
Yeah, and that's why I left them about, I'd say a good 6 months ago, 5 to 6 months.
Yeah.
To be about the truth. About
Yeah.
5 to 6 months I've left.
That's why I said it wasn't just that comment Trump made. I think you've been having an internal battle going on within yourself. And it just, since that moment, things have been piling up on the side where you're like, I just can't support them. And eventually it tipped into the point, and now you really can't do it. But I believe I believe you're being very sincere. And I just ask those questions, and I'm not trying to be, disrespectful in any way.
Well, I understand. I mean, it's hard. You have, a person that's voted for Trump twice, who has supported him for almost a good 8 years, and are coming up to your panel and saying they're no longer voting for him, they're voting for Harris. And I understand that there's going to be a trust issue there, and there's going to be, okay, well, let's see where she really goes with this. And I understand that. I feel the same way.
I mean, but you know what? I've heard about you. I've been talking online about folks I call them Trump supporters for Harris. And a lot of the MAGA that come in here, they thought I was making it up. But you're the first person that's actually validating in a way that there are people who voted for Donald Trump twice and are now supporting Kamala Harris. So number one, I'm going to give you a round of applause. That's amazing. Thank you for actually validating this so others can see this is really happening out here, because this is what we need more of. I'm going to be honest with you. I got, 2 more questions, and then I got to move on, all right? The first question is, what are you going to do going forward to prevent something like this from happening? Because Trump is just a human being, but you could honestly end up being under a spell like this with anyone. So what are you going to do going forward?
I'm really just going to watch people is what I'm going to do. I'm going to pay more attention to what I think, and what I'm seeing, instead of being in a TikTok live going, everyone stop screaming at each other. Like, I'm really just going to pay attention. And I just look at things for myself.
Thank you.
Right now, I have a lot of followers on like 3 different accounts, and they're all being blocked out. I'm blocking everyone. I removed all of my Trump posts. I'm still working on the reposts. There's a lot of them. It's been 3.5 years.
Well, it takes a lot to undo the damage. I get it. Things don't snap your fingers and it's over, right?
I understand the cult word now, because I'm telling you, my phone's just been dinging and donging. And it's just the hate and the rhetoric that's coming through my phone. And I'm like, Why are y'all so angry that I left? Why are y'all so angry that I just cannot support this anymore?
That's a great question. Now, my last and final question, and then I gotta open up the box of this. You've done something that's pretty incredible, by the way, and I do hope you at least stick around and listen. Maybe people have something to say and they might want to talk to you. I don't know. But my last question is this. What do you say to those Trump supporters who are currently where you were 6 months ago to help them not spend another 6 months trying to figure this out, because we got to vote really soon, very, very soon, right? And if there's something you could say to a Trump supporter right now that knows Donald Trump just isn't the right person, but they haven't reached that tipping point you've made it to, what would you say to them?
You really have to do a lot of soul searching for yourself. You have to be independent. You have to be an independent thinker and look at what other people are showing you, and don't be too ignorant to not look at it or listen to it or read it for yourself and make your own opinion. Figure it out on your own. Don't just take it for everyone else's word.
I agree. Well, listen, Karma, you've made my morning. I'll say that. Not a lot of people know how to do that. So thank you for volunteering and allowing yourself to be vulnerable in this space, because you know what I do. I'm pretty,
No, I expected it.
Yeah.
It's okay. I expected it, but attacking was like, would you mind going into this live tomorrow morning? Because I announced it to him yesterday, and I said no, not at all. I have no problem coming in, and I listened to a lot of what you played. You're actually have a very nice broadcast going on here, and I will be following you and listening to you a little bit more often as well.
Yeah, I do this Monday through Friday, same time. So you don't need to be at all of the shows, though I appreciate it. But it's really, I call it educational, entertaining, and engaging. That's what it's about, because politics can be real dry. You know what I mean? And I can totally understand. I could totally understand why Donald Trump was able to, so to speak, fly under the radar, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because if you're only getting it in bits and pieces, then it's kind of like, oh, okay, it's not that big of a deal. But one of the things that I also am aware of is, this is a guy that's lied over 30,000 times while he was president, right? And you got to think to yourself, if you were a supporter of his, then that means you would have probably believed all 30,000 lies. And could you imagine how difficult it would be for a person that believed all 30,000 lies to deal with truth? It'd be pretty hard, right?
I'm doing it now, and it's really hard. It really is to self-reflect back, and I do believe in self-reflection, and I reflected back on it, and I was not the nicest of a person to a lot of people, and I am sorry for that. And I have always, apologized to anyone, and I will in the future as well. And I don't care how for being that person, but all I can do now is do better.
I agree. The first step is taking accountability, and then you got to do the other steps one day at a time. You might not get people to believe you and your apology, but you know what? At least you've done the most important part, right? Which is shown the humility and taking accountability. I think that's amazing. And I think that as long as you continue to do that, overall, you'll be in a good space mentally and emotionally. I really do believe that.
Can I just say one thing to the one person in the comments? I've never said up here or any other live that I supported January 6th. Never.
Wow.
I come from a very political background. I was raised near the Capitol. I was raised near the White House.
Maybe they're saying that, though. Maybe they're saying that because prior to you getting away from the cult, you were a Trump supporter.
Yeah, but I also got a lot of heat in the Trump lives because I did not agree with them on January 6th. I have always had a difference of opinion with them on January 6th.
Okay, I got one more question then, because it seems like you were aware of some things Trump saying were truthful and other things that weren't truthful. You were aware, even though. So why vote for him twice?
Well, see, I hold those people also accountable because I believe adults should be responsible for their own actions. I'm not going to have another grown person tell me, you're going to go down here and do this. They did it because they chose to. They did it because they chose to follow him and do it. That was
Right.
the adult decision they made, and they should have the consequences
I agree.
of their lack of judgment.
They should, and I also believe Donald Trump organized it, right? And that's why he called.
Now,
But my
looking
question
back, I see it after watching Day of Rage. I realized that, but I was blind to it up till I saw Day of Rage.
she's not a Trump supporter. She used to support Trump, and now she's out of the cult, all right, and dealing with the backlash of that. For those of you who are just turning in, my other question. I know we got to move on. Why did you support this man? Why? What am I missing? What's the attraction? What was the attraction? Not because I know you don't support him now, but what was the attraction?
You know, me and my mom, when she was still around, was when Hillary went against Trump, and there were a couple things that Hillary said I couldn't get behind. The fact that she stayed with the man that she did and how he treated her. I was like, ooh, that's a bad example, because I've been in relationships like that. My ex-husband was like that, and I'm like, how can you stand by that person? I don't understand. And, you know, now...
That's deep right there. That's deep right there. That's something I haven't heard. Okay, that's a good one. I mean, others might have heard it.
That was always my stance on it. Like, you're standing by a man that has obviously cheated on you. We won't go down all of the...
But Trump in essence, though, he is the man that does that.
You see, I didn't look at that part then, though, and that's when I am claiming full ignorance.
But like to grab him by, but you didn't hear the Access Hollywood tape when he said grab him by the. I mean, I'm not saying you can go back and change it, but I'm just throwing these out there because to me, I'm like, how could you?
Like I said, I was blind to a lot of it. I was ignorant to a lot of it. Maybe I just didn't want to say it. I'm still, I mean, I'm only 72 hours in, you know, so, you know, I'm still reflecting with myself on.
Got it. Well, these are questions that you might have to think of. Next question. Oh, all right. The second time you voted for him. Okay. Now you've known this guy. You've seen he's been impeached. You've lived under his presidency already. We have civil unrest going on with George Floyd. The pandemic is raging, and you voted for him again.
Yes, I did. You're hearing me chew on my tongue here. I'm trying.
But I'm just still trying to get to the bottom. What was it at that time that just you were just like, I gotta do it? This is.
He had me fooled with a lot of things when it came to our military. He really did. You know, he had me, and I'll admit it. And not a lot of people fly underneath my radar on certain things, and he did. And like I said, I was ignorant.
How did he have you fooled with the military?
I mean, he just really seemed like he was defending our military. It seemed like, you know, he wanted to do better for our military. He wanted to support them like our vets that came home.
So,
you know,
I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed, but I'm pretty sharp. So even though
I've been like a butter knife the past 4 years, so.
But even though he had shown you what a 4-year presidency with him looked like, when it came down to him and Biden, and you voted for him again, the thing that basically pushed you over the hump was him. You believed he supported our troops more than Biden?
At the time.
Even though he tore this country to shreds.
Like I said, I'm embarrassed by my behavior, but at the time, yeah, I did. And looking back on it, you know, I am embarrassed by the way I thought. I really am.
Wow. I get it. All right. Well, listen, this was a great conversation. Like I said, this is probably one of the most enjoyable moments of being on TikTok, talking to folks like yourself. All right, Karma, but I gotta move it on and bring up the next guest. Any last remarks before we switch gear, or I bring up the next guest? The floor is yours. All right.
Just thank you for having me up. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, as always. All right, you're more than welcome to come back anytime and add your perspective. It won't be like this anymore. I've kind of already had the conversation. Now it's just about helping Kamala win, all right? But I really do appreciate it, all right? And if you have more folks like yourself, please send them to Zeus, all right? Send them to Attacking, whoever. All right, we want to hear more of these stories, seriously.
Okay, I absolutely will. And again, thank you very much for having me up. And I do
All right.
understand there's going to be a lot of hesitation because I did just flip over, and that's fine. And I understand that I would be the same way.
All right, all right, all right. Well, you know what? You're in good hands over here. All right. I know you are, and you will be fine. Just keep doing the work. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up to Karma. Honestly, no lies detected. Thank you, Karma. I appreciate you. I really do. All right.
Thank you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. That was amazing story. All right. I've never heard anything. Attacking, are you there, buddy?
I am.
All right. That was quite a conversation, wouldn't you say? I mean, you've had it already, I would imagine, but that was interesting. Thank you.
From day one, I listening to her many months ago. I've treated her with respect because she's open-minded to what we've been saying.
Correct.
Whether it be me or, like I said, Maga Slayer and all these other broadcasters. And the thing is, being in a cult, it's multi-layered of how things happen mentally. So there's not going to be one certain way of doing something or thinking because there's so many different volumes of this.
Yeah.
And so she finally came to the precipice of I can't take him no more.
Yeah.
It's over. Just like Mishi. You know who Mishi is.
I do know who Mishi is. Yep.
So she was the same way. So the thing is, while people, I'm looking, they don't believe what she's saying, blah, 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 blah. Well, you know what? You're not in her shoes.
Right.
I'm not in her shoes. Zeus is in her shoes. By me watching her and talking to her past several months, and the other broadcasters talking to her for all these months, and she took the time to look at the things that people said, to read. You have said it. I have said it. Don't believe what we say. Go look at what we tell you to look at. See it for yourself. You can only change you.
Yep.
We cannot change you. You have to change you. So the information that she's seen, all of a sudden hits her going, wow, these people that I've been talking to are not lying. They are telling me the truth. So they have to see it. And until other people who are on the fence, like she has been, finally sees the light of truth that me and you and other broadcasters have been showing,
yep.
see it for themselves, they're not going to believe it. You have people on the right who still lie as they're saying that they don't lie. You know the people. I know the people.
Thank you, Coco, for the subscription. Yep. Tell them
so we have to fight this all the time. So as you put out facts and I put out facts and other people put out facts, what do these people on the right on this platform do? They put out nothing but lies. And then when you ask for it to show the proof, and I ask them to show the proof, they say, we're not going to go look for yourself. It's out there. They don't tell us where to go. They don't tell us their source. They don't tell us where they're reading it.
Exactly. Tell them attacking.
So I thank her for coming up here. I thought this would be a good platform because you have a lot of people that are on the fence. Yep. I think that maybe they can take what she has told you.
And you said Maga Slayer was the one that helped her with this, right? So yeah, thank you,
Maga Slayer and
thank you, Maga Slayer, Doug. Thank you,
Lady Google and all that.
All of you, thank you. This is what this is about.
It's teamwork, and the fact is I treated her from day one of meeting her with respect. And when she would come to my room, I told her no. I've told my mods, do not remove this person. She's on the other side, but she's she's my friend. Don't touch her. So I put a blanket of protection over her when she would come to my broadcast.
And that's incredible because you run a very tight regime attacking. I know it.
Yeah. So it's like, I don't care. Block them, mute them, get them out. I don't care who it is.
Yeah.
But anyway, I thought that you would enjoy this, Zeus.
I really did, brother. I appreciate it. All right.
All right, let's bring somebody else up who's smarter than me, except for Nutty. If he's in the broadcast, he's not smarter than me.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up to Brother Attacking and Protected. All right, let's go, ladies and gentlemen. I see a couple of friendlies I got to talk to before I get up out of here. All right, I'm trying to get to all of you. Good morning, Union Gay. I see you, Sadie. Let's go.
You know, Zeus,
what's that,
I gotta
sir?
Say, I'm absolutely stunned.
Why?
Right? I really thought that most MAGA was unreachable after January 6th. I really did. And when he dropped those comments, I was actually live with Jolly when the comments came in from Trump talking trash about the Medal of Honor.
Yeah.
He was so disgusted that he got off and was making a video while we ran his live while he was making a clapback video to it.
Right.
And, the veteran community was outraged. I do had another veteran, a Vietnam vet, dude broke down emotional video, man. It was tough.
Wow.
It was tough to watch it.
Wow.
He was just devastated, man. Because anybody who spent time in his uniform, and for you, Karma, if you don't know much about me, I'm a combat veteran. I served this country for 22 years, 11 months and 4 days as a soldier. I deployed 5 times in defense of this country.
Thank you for your service.
And I know what the hell that soldiers go through to get the Medal of Honor. It's nothing that should be trifled with. And it's nothing that you ask for. It's something that's thrusted upon you because how you handle yourself in the absolute darkest of situations. Most people don't live to receive the Medal of Honor. Very few. Matter of fact, we celebrate the first staff sergeant who did during this war on terror. So it's a very, very small community that wants to be in there, and it should have been something that, the Republican Party that I used to support would never speak out like this. But Trump allowed the worst to come out in the Republican Party. And so Karma's story, I have to say, I'm actually gonna, because you know me, I show no.
I know your.
I drag MAGA to hell, man. I do. I drag him to hell because I really thought it was beyond redemption after January 6th. But
so you listen to the story. You listen to what?
I heard it from start to finish. And I was.
I was really probing. I was really probing to see if we could get some.
Yeah, I was going to come up here and just drag MAGA some more and talk about these other soldiers who betrayed their oath and going to prison and getting locked up. But I changed everything, listener. I said, hold up. You know what? I'm going to have to allow space for people to grow. Because maybe they're not all just like everything else it's not a level. Right?
Yeah.
We're going to have some MAGAs that's beyond redemption, and we're going to have some people who are really struggling and people who are believing the lies. And we know that anybody can fall victim to propaganda because you have stuff out there that's doing propaganda. So
she's been lied to over 30,000 times. That's crazy, right? I mean, I don't trust nobody that much.
I know. No, because I've never trusted Trump. And Trump was the only president that I ever openly disagreed and openly opposed.
Yeah.
He's the only one I ever openly opposed because, most soldiers are indoctrinated to toe the line, that you can't speak out against the commander-in-chief.
So, so you believe, so you could sense that there was sincerity in Karma's story, her message.
I believe her. I believe her enough. Listen, if she ever comes to my live stream, I will give her a platform. I would talk to her. Because I think that look,
you hear that, Karma? You better go on over there. Let's go.
If this is really happening, Trump is in serious trouble. If this is really happening, and he is really, because it's been so obvious for me, right?
Yeah.
That people just not. You got to be either drinking the Kool-Aid or just oblivious.
Yeah.
Not to see this man. The fact that any Christian can support this guy, he has more Antichrist attributes than anything. So we're good. I'm definitely. Hey, I welcome you up tonight. I'm going to be on this platform tonight. I will definitely bring you up. I want you to share your story, please.
Karma,
at 6 p.m. Please,
Karma, I hope you're following.
First, I want you to share your story. I think that I don't know, man. Hell, we might find a way forward, man.
We might.
I mean,
this is
some hope, man. And believe me, I wrote off a portion of the population that they're not going to be able to save them, man. Right? That just going to have to be. We'll have to just exercise them out of here. You know, we have to deal with it. But I come on at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I'll be right here on this platform. This one. I rotate a lot, guys, because I'm attacked a lot because I'm fiercely Black liberation, and I'm fiercely for the country, and that's a mix that people do not want to hear. They don't want to hear soldiers speaking.
She said she's going to show up, brother. I hope you got her added. All right. She said she's going to show.
Matter of fact, hold on. Let me see if I'm not following her.
Make sure y'all following each other and connecting.
All right, I'm following you right now.
Let's go. This is what TikTok is about, ladies and gentlemen. This is it. All right, getting people to the truth. All right,
yes,
I appreciate. I'm going to start.
I want her story to be amplified. I really do. I think that we really need to focus on people like this, the people that we can reach. Because really, even when I started this conversation, I really hoped that we could reach reasonable people. I just thought that after January 6th, there was no one reasonable left, right? I just figured that if you can watch all of this and still be with Trump, then you like David Koresh and Jim Jones. So I have to say, I was stunned. I was absolutely stunned.
I was too. Yeah. I was too, because I've been down this path, right? And you kind of, somebody just might be pulling my leg. Okay, how do you know they're really committed to doing the work? That was kind of where my mind is at, because people, get emotional. But as I was throwing I was throwing a bit of a combo at her. I was like, wow, we're taking accountability too? You're voting for Kamala too? Oh, yeah.
Yes. The fact that she voting for Kamala, that is like, okay.
Thank you, Jizzy.
I know people right now who are like, okay, they're not going to vote for Trump, but they're just going to either sit out or vote third party, right? But to make that step because see, if you want to be opposed to Trump, you got to vote for Kamala.
Yeah.
Because that's the only vote that's going to put him at a loss. Anything else doesn't matter.
Right.
But the fact that she's saying that she want to switch sides, well, we got to protect her, because MAGA going to come for her now.
Yeah.
Right. MAGA go come for her. MAGA go drag her to hell. They're gonna be outraged. You can see them in there. They go call her everything. They go treat her like us.
Yeah.
And so I think we have to give, and listen, I'm glad. I mean, listen, if that means she really do respect soldiers, if she really can see, if this is the breaking point for her. I mean, she did overlook a lot of stuff.
That's why I was trying to get it. I tried it.
January 6th should have absolutely been the breaking point. But the fact that people still could wake up afterwards, she got me. I'm going to do some reevaluation, right? I'm not going to cast you all out. I understand that, right? I will, obviously, there's still room for some people to grow, and I'm going to have to allow that space now.
Yep.
So, because she's definitely credible. I believe her. I believe her, and I think that it just shows that the effect that we're having here, that I think we're going to be on the precipice of something great here in November. And
I think so too.
Engaged, and we need to get as many people to these polls as possible, because it's such a stark difference between, Kamala Harris and Orange Jesus. It's a stark difference. And I think we have to really, drill into that. So I have to say, I am stunned and I'm pleasantly surprised, and that's something that I normally don't. These moments are rare for me on TikTok. I normally come on with my armor on. I'm ready to drag them to hell. I'm ready to show them no quarter. I'm ready to, give them everything they've been giving us, man, and match and exceed their energy. Yeah. So these are the rare times that I'm like, damn, we really are reaching people, man. People are really waking up. And so I think that we have to pull back for our humanity, because look, I hate that the country's divided. I hate that I've lost, family members and people I serve with over this. I hate it.
Yeah.
But we have to defend our democracy. We have to rally for it. We have to do, because, especially being in Black liberation, all the stuff we went through in this country as Black people.
Yeah.
We built this country for free. And look at the hell we still go through for it.
Yep.
But these are the moments that make a lot of stuff worth it.
These
are the moments right here that people wake up and have some humanity and say, hey, I'm going to do the right thing for the country.
Yes, sir.
It's really the stuff that keep me going. Honestly, this is the stuff that I can get tactical teams called on my house and threats and all that craziness. But these are the moments I'm like, you know what? Okay,
it makes you think, right?
Yeah,
I gotta go back to my lab and reevaluate stuff too, because I can get pretty animated and just go in, but you know, it did speak to me when I was like, okay, this is not someone I gotta go in on. I gotta really be, you know, a listener to, and for the most part,
and adjust tactics. When you see, like, you're like, you know what? Because she's sincere. She sounds sincere to me, and I know that if she's sincere, she really gonna catch hell. She's really gonna catch hell for MAGA because they go see her as a traitor now. And you know what they do to you once you leave MAGA, the cult turns on you. You know, and so she gonna be targeted, doxxed, all the rest of that. So,
well, we got your back, Karma.
We should rally for her and let her know that, hey, you know what? America needs to see more of this, right? America needs to see more of us reaching across the aisle and say, hey, because like I said, I've always been independent, you know. And so I know they're gonna be on you. They're gonna be on you for this, Karma. They're gonna be on you. So
tell them.
I want you to come and share your story, and we're gonna wrap you up, and we're gonna do what we can. You know, get your story out, because I think that this is the way that we could probably break through. We could probably break through and reach a lot of people that I thought was unreachable. So I can admit when I'm wrong, and I love to be surprised in this fashion. I mean, I really like, it's a rare gift to be like, you know what, man, maybe these people can find their way out, because I think it takes a lot of self-reflection to be able to come out. It sure does. Yeah,
it sure does. It sure does. But listen, brother, I got to move it on, my good friend. All right,
hey, I appreciate your battle. Hey, it was good. Like I said, I'm glad to be able to see this. I'm glad to be able to witness this moment.
Yeah, I didn't know it was going to happen today like this, and so I'm glad you were here, and we're going to continue to, you know, help the story get out. And this, I think, is, like you said, incredible. This is what the Democrats need more of to help make sure Donald Trump does not get in that White House. All right, I really do believe that. All right, ladies and gentlemen. All right, let's give it up to Union Gang. No lies detected. All righty then. Oh my goodness. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we got to ask because Zeus has to get up out of here. Seriously, I know. I see you out there. Good morning, Shay. All right, Shay. How are you doing?
My profile pic, but that's weird. There it is. Okay.
I can see your profile picture. It looks beautiful.
Oh, well, thank you. Hi, Adrian.
Yes.
Doing all.
Yes.
Anyway, real quick. Yep, was in Tactics Live last night and got to meet with Carmen. I've met her in other lives as well.
Okay.
And yes, this is evident, and I'm glad to see, you know, Union Gang and many of us, of course, are going to be, and Carmen knows this. We told her that we're going to be a little bit like, you know, a little reserved, because it is hard for us to say that finally broke you out of everything, you know, like, but that's what it is, you know. Eventually people are going to wake up, and I do encourage, because I'm seeing a lot from my lefties, and we mean the best, but we've got to stop immediately attacking, and we've got to listen. We've got to listen with open ears, because when people do come up and say they're on the fence, believe that they're on the fence. Stop doing I'm sorry, I love you guys, but you do it every time. Oh, how are you? You can't be on the fence. You have to be a Trump supporter. We have got to stop doing that. Do you understand? This is a time. We have 77 days. We have 77 days. We have got to start listening to people. We have got to slow our roll. We've got to let some of our walls down. Be smart. That doesn't mean you don't need to be smart, and doesn't mean you shouldn't question, just like Zeus. You saw Zeus do it. That was an excellent way that Zeus did it. He in no way attacked her. He in no way judged her. He in no way assumed things about her, but he held her feet to the fire a little bit, because it is hard for us to believe. And this going forward, we have to say, you're on the fence. Can you tell us what's holding you back from voting for Kamala Harris? That is what you need to ask. Not, oh, bullshit, oh, this, oh, that. Okay? So let's do it. Let's listen. Let's give them the answers as to why we're supporting her, what is going on. And you can pull in people like me and Mishi and other people that were conservative, because we can speak to conservatives. We speak their language. We understand it. We can give you that understanding.
Give them to them, Shay.
Mentality, okay?
Tell them, Shay.
Use a lot of us that are on that, and let's actually have dialogue. This is important. All right, that's all I wanted to say.
All right, thank you.
Brother.
All right, love you too. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up to the beautiful Shay. Wow. Thank you, Shay. Laser focus in and out, just like I like it. Don't worry, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to try to get to. I see you, Cece and Seti. I'm going to get to you. Don't worry. Just hang in there. Straight Facts, good morning. All right. We're down to the wire. What do you got for us, Mike?
Quick
because I know you coming to the end of your show. So I just want to say this: I am very proud of that young lady for coming up in here, because that took a lot of courage to tell everybody that she was not only not voting for Trump, but she also was going to vote for Kamala. So I do definitely applaud her and would like to see her over on my channel as well.
Get there.
Come in and talk about some things so we can question her and ask, the questions that we all want to ask. You guys understand that they got me this morning, y'all. So I'll be over here on OG Straight Facts for the next week. So come on over here. But I want to say this. I had a gentleman that came in my live the other day. His name is Tim. You guys,
yes.
I truly appreciate it.
Yes.
Tim, made me understand this. She said, good. Thank you for following me, Karma. Come on over in the morning. I come 7:30 to 9:30, right before Zeus comes on. Anyway, he came over to my panel and I said the same thing that Union Gang said. You know what? And that Shay just said. We have to slow down a little bit, and we have to understand that some people are ready to jump the fence. They're ready to come on our side, and we have to understand not everybody that supported Trump is a racist. I came to this conclusion the other day because Tim made me understand that this is what's happening with some of our other Americans on the other side here. They can't wrap their brain around a United States of America president, a former president, being just that conniving, being just that malicious, being just that diabolical. It's easier for them to believe that China gave us COVID, C-19, just to mess his presidency up. It's easier, and I know this sounds kind of weird, but it's easier for them to wrap their brain around a conspiracy theory than an actual president of the United States was just that nasty and evil to his constituents.
Ain't that something? And I believe you. I believe you. The stuff Donald Trump is dealing with, it does sound unbelievable. I agree. If I didn't look at the information myself, I'd say, yeah, this is wild.
That's right.
It's a hit job on him, right? But when you pay attention to him and you look at it, you go, "Oh, this is self-inflicted." They ain't even getting them on everything.
That's correct. But if you look at it from that point of view, like no way in the world that an American president could have did that, then it's easy for you to believe that everybody is just against him. You know what I mean? Nobody likes him. That's why everybody is going after him with so much fever, so much angst. Because there's just no way that a president, you mean to tell me a former president of the United States did all this? And the answer is absolutely yes. And it's just hard for them to bring their brain to understand that. And you know what? I couldn't understand that for a minute until I did the chronological order with Tim. Once he got to the January 6th part and him getting people to go up in the Capitol and do the things that they did, he fell off. He said, you know what? When we got to the COVID part, he said, you know what happened is that China brought it in so we can mess up. Just so happened, he even said it. He said, I know I'm going down the rabbit hole, but just by coincidence, China brought the C-19 in, and right then and there, I said to myself, oh, wow.
Wow. That's what it is.
Can't wrap your brain around, because Trump is such a cluster F. You know what I mean?
I do.
Heck could we have nominated someone to do something like that? And absolutely, he is an American. Trust me when I tell you guys this. Trump is an American that does not love America.
Tell him. Wow, I agree. Well, thank you. Listen, Straight Facts. We got to move it on, my good friend.
That's it. I'm gonna let you go. You guys have a wonderful day, and thank you for the gifts. And I really, really appreciate the Karma coming up. Thank you again.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up to Straight Facts. All right, listen. I know, ladies and gentlemen, it's one of those moments. All right, it really is. Okay, Seti, greetings. All right, make it short and sweet. Let's go, buddy. Okay. Seti, greetings. All right, make it short and sweet. Let's go, buddy. Let's go.
I'm gonna make it short too, brother.
Sorry to make you wait, but we had other business to tend to.
No, man, no, absolutely. You got the content creators that are doing the job, so no worries on that, brother. Listen, brother.
Talk to me.
Karma. You know how hard it is for someone to come up and say they're wrong and ask for contrition and say, I'm wrong, I made a mistake. Look at Donald Trump. All the things he's done all his life, has that man ever said, I was wrong? She did it. And I believe her too. It takes a lot. Now, when she said something about Hillary Clinton not leaving her husband, it kind of ticked me off because Hillary didn't cheat on her husband. Okay? She's a strong woman who stuck by her husband. That's why you should have voted for her.
Right.
But and then you know the track record of a Donald Trump and what he did with his wives, it didn't equal out to me. But she did come and say I was wrong. And you know what? I love that. And you know what happened last weekend with him saying about the Medal of Honor?
What's
that? It is true. It's going to happen. Union Gang was right. People are tired of that. That is a slap in the face to people that have fought for our country. And that is what's going to hurt. That is what's going to hurt, brother, more than anything. Because they know if he can do that to them, then he can do it to you too.
Well.
With that, my brother, I'm going to say, let you bring the next person up. But Karma, you are awesome. I can't wait to talk to you tonight on Union Gang. Please come up.
All right.
I missed you, brother. We've been going.
I missed you too. No. You just been missing me.
You've been busy, man. You kick it. You slay it every fucking day. So no.
My God, ladies and gentlemen, let's give it to Seti Sid. Give it to Seti Sid. I gotta move, ladies and gentlemen. All right. CC, come on, CC. Come on, let's keep it short and sweet. Zeus has to get out of here. How are you doing, CC?
How you doing, my friend?
I'm doing all righty then.
So right before, right in this is the first morning, really.
Yeah.
Been able to see you. I've been away.
Yeah, you've been okay? Oh, okay. As long as you on vacation and doing your thing.
No, honey, no. It turned out to be a disaster.
Uh-oh. What happened?
On Monday the 5th, I went to the Outer Banks to see my daughter and her children and my son-in-law.
Okay.
I handed over my almost 9-year-old Chihuahua Rat Terrier mixed dog. Only 10 to 12 pounds. Asked him to put her in the house. He didn't. He let her go, Zeus. And I have been looking for her for 12 days until finally I just had to come home.
Wow.
I have met some wonderful people on the Outer Banks and that are helping me.
Well,
and, it's been tough, Zeus.
I'm sorry, Cece.
And
I'm really sorry.
Thank you, honey. And believe this or not, I'm not going to say anything bad about Snuggles anymore. I learned a lesson there. This man has a heart.
Who, Snuggles?
Yes, I explained the situation, the story, and this man teared up, and he ended his life due to my situation. And that was touching to me, truly. So I have nothing. I'm not going to say anything anymore about our struggles,
Don't worry, Cece. You don't got to. All right, but I can't make the same promise because you know. You know how I feel about him. He might do some good acts here and there.
Oh yes.
But I'm gonna need him to cry I'm gonna need him to cry a little more, Cece. But thank you for getting them tears started with him, though. All right, you are. Thank you, Cece. You started something really great and powerful. All right, we gonna get him. I'm gonna make sure for you, CC, we make Snuggles tap out. I want him to end his accounts. I want him to shut all those accounts down on TikTok.
Yes, and right before did I say this already? My mind is so scrambled. Did I say that I saw Takian's video with Karma before I came up here?
Oh, you didn't say that.
Yes, and when I saw Takian in the live, I said, Takian, that video was awesome. And then he brings her up. Karma, I am so proud of you. Keep up the good work.
Thank you.
Keep on your research. Don't listen to the evil. They're evil people. And you've been doing the right thing, honey. You keep up the good work because you know what?
What's that?
I'm a true believer in karma.
Ooh.
I'm a believer in karma.
Go ahead, Cece. You know you got what you got. All right, I love you too. All right, and we going.
One more thing. Michael Cohen told me that Donald Trump, it takes him 20 minutes in the morning to get dressed. He has these, like these baby wipes. Well, that's the type of wipes he uses on his face to become orange.
Oh.
And he puts these goggles, the goggles you wear in a tanning bed. That's the reason why he's white under the eyes.
Lord have mercy, Cece. Cece, I gotta eat breakfast still. Cece, knock it out, Cece. All right, I love you too, ladies and gentlemen. Let's give it up to Cece. Oh my God, you almost ruined my breakfast, Cece. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give the beautiful Cece a round of applause. Oh my God, Cece, knock it off. All right, ladies and gentlemen, listen, we reached that point in the show where Zeus must depart. What a great show. You all deserve a round of applause. I want to give a special thank you to all of the subscribers, moderators, panelists, especially you, Karma, all right, and the gifters, all right. Without any of you, this wouldn't be possible. You all helped to make the show entertaining, exciting, and engaging. You really did. But we got to get one final round of booze and shame. This last round of booze and shame goes out to the Zeus haters, all right? And these aren't just my haters. These are also your haters, all right? These people get on TikTok day in and day out and spread misinformation and disinformation on behalf of Vladimir Putin and the Kremlin. They promote evil, misogyny, bigotry, racism, xenophobia, and all kinds of evil, corruption, criminality on behalf of Donald J. Trump and the cult. Trust me when I tell you, these people are the worst of the worst and the scum of the earth. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give them our final round of booze and shame. You're okay, Sid. Don't worry, Sid. You're fine. Get him out of here. All right, ladies and gentlemen, take care. Stay safe out there in those TikTok streets. Don't do nothing I wouldn't do. What an incredible show. Yes, I uploaded to YouTube, all right? When I'm done, these lives go on YouTube. You can go watch them if you didn't catch the whole thing. It's been a great show. Again, I love you all. Hey! I like to act a fool when I'm moving like Zeus. Don't be playing with my moves. Thank you, Rick. All right, Karma, you need to follow Jeff too. Jeff, I don't know if you're here, but make sure you check out Jeff. All right, you got a great story you can tell. You and him should go and tell together. Yes, Cece, we're praying for your Cammy. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's pray for Cece's Cammy. All right, Snuggles, you did a great thing. All right, but you got a long road ahead. All right, until you shut down those apps on TikTok, Snuggles, I will be your worst nightmare. Alright, and I'm saying that with a lot of love, alright? Hey, Lindsay, I see you. I see you, Lindsay. I hope you're doing well, alright? Hope you're behaving, alright? Dutch! Thank you. Dutchy! This is how I move when I'm walking like Zeus. This is how I sound when I'm talking like Zeus. Hey, bro, I see you, champion. Hey, Tiny Tank Top Tim. Tom, you're next. I look forward to you getting out of the cult and getting in here and apologizing for all the harm you've done too, Tiny Tank Top Tim Tom. You and the missus. Alright, let's go, Chrissy Marie. I've been waiting for this moment now. I see you, Miss Simmons. I see you, Emma. I see you. Thank you for all you do. Valerie. Wow, you guys are amazing. Woo! People telling me be cool. Thank you. I see you, Lindsay. Hey, I see what you're doing. Alright, I hope you're keeping it clean out there, alright? You know you got a lot of fans, alright? Season 5! Catching all these snakes like a mongoose. Why am I not seeing? Oh, you know what? That's a great question. Can I get back to you on that? I'm a busy man. But don't worry, I mailed it in. All right, they got their great hands. All right, they got all of my support. MAGA will continue to deny they were ever Trump followers in a few months. You think so, Constantine? Hey, as long as they get out of the cult, we're okay. All right.
Yeah, you know about me.
Darlene. All right, thank you.
I'm the god of the sky, you know what I'm saying?
All right.
I'm ready to have a group with this heat.
Insane asylums.
Sound mind on the beat, kicking hard like Groot.
Insane asylums. Insane asylums. Insane asylums.
Wow.
Insane asylums. Jack Smith.
Oh.
Jack Smith.
Oh.
Jack Smith. Yeah.
Oh.
Jack Smith. Jack Smith. Jack Smith.
Oh, that's a scary guy.
Jack Smith. Jack Smith. Insane asylum. Jack Smith. Insane asylum. I named him. You know, they miss you when I say Smith. I wonder what his name used to be. Jack Smith. It sounds so innocent, doesn't it? Jack Smith. What's his name? Jack Smith. He's a very nice man.
That's how powerful I am.
The stock market is only up because they think I'm going to win. And if we don't win, according to many people, including one of the greatest Wall Street prognosticators, named Scott Besson. Has anyone heard of him?
I haven't heard of
One of the most
Scott.
brilliant guys on Wall Street. If I don't win, you will have a 1929 style depression. Enjoy it. I believe that.
Enjoy it.
I believe that.
I believe it.
I believe it.
I'm out of here, ladies and gentlemen. Take care. Stay safe. Don't do nothing I wouldn't do out there in these TikTok streets.